see ever need in addressing rice issue in the country because Nigerian depends on rice. They eat rice in the morning, they eat rice in the afternoon, and even in the evening hours. So when the importers wrote the commerce minister in person from Amimuda, I think they know that since February they've been reaching out to him to increase the rice price by $2, right? Yeah, $2, and up to then they couldn't receive any feedback from him. So these few days, they told the wives in uh, coming up with a statement that if the government don't increase the price of rice because they themselves are going through a lot of things when it comes to the price of rice on the world market, like the country that is providing rice for, which is India, and some of the things that they do go through in importing the rice to the country. So they asked the commerce minister to at least add $2 to the price of rice. In. So now, here is it. Information dissemination is one thing that we as a country, most especially when the Wakai administration folks top hierarchies used to say, oh, the people in CDC, everybody want to talk, everybody want to do this, everybody want to have press conference. The issue about information dissemination was lacking in the past government, and I have started observing that in this administration also, the Brakai administration, the issue, of course, they're having press conference at the Ministry of Information. But yesterday, um, the Commerce Minister did approve that yes, there'll be a $2 add up to the price of rice in the country, wherein he and the president, the president having have a meeting here with the importers. There was a pending meeting on yesterday, and it was the same day before yesterday when he appeared at the Ministry of Information, and he told the Liberian people that $2 extra. That's the commerce minister. He said $2 extra will be added to the price of rice in the country. So yesterday, now the president met with the importers, and the president disagreed with the importers and said that there's no need for extra fees to be added on the price of rice. There was a meeting here yesterday, and the meeting ended in dialogue. See that one because the president disagreed with them. I don't know from what background the president disagreement is coming from. Is it because that he don't want to do business as usual, like the way President George Weah was doing, or he just want to stay on his own as president and go for the change that he normally talk about. So yesterday, the Ministry of the Executive Mansion came up with a statement letting Liberians know that the president meeting with importers yesterday. He had a meeting, and that meeting ended. They said updates. They said following the meeting with rest importers, President Waka says there will be no increment in the price of rice. That was the only statement posted on the executive mansion website later on the day of press release. So, how is information dissemination? Ula Fofana is saying different thing. Amin Muda is saying another different thing. Where are we headed to when it comes to the issue of the right? Because we have to be proactive. Harris. We have to give the information to the Nigerian people adequately. Not somebody coming saying different thing, another person saying another thing. It becomes something that the Nigerian people will start to express their disappointment with this administration.
And Broker, you placed it right, is that the issue about, information dissemination or coordination has been a problem. I think we continue to observe that in this government. And this is nothing new from what George Weah or the CDC administration struggled with at the time. And for me, I'm convinced that it is the same, similar happening under this current regime. Wakai, the issue about the situation in this country is not that of which you will say it is something you do lip service with, right? Or you try to, to thwart the conversation. Now, the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, it is that government institution, Wakai, that is responsible to collect, evaluate, and publish data pertaining to commerce and industry. Uh, it establishes and enforces standards for business practices in this country.
Mhm.
That is the cardinal function of the Ministry of Commerce and Industry.
Mhm.
Now, part of the reasons why I said this is to connect us to a point.
Yeah.
Now, so if we have a government now responsible to collect, evaluate, and publish all data pertaining to commerce and industry in our country, covering, in terms of establishing and enforcing standards on the Liberian market. It is that government institution that will inform the president
Yeah.
that this is what is happening on the market currently as we speak,
Yeah.
and provide a recommendation to the president that this is or these are steps that we can take as a government and as people to have things done in this country and to strengthen this problem we already have. If we understand the conversation from that point, Walker, then it draws out to what the commerce minister said.
Mhm.
And this morning, thankfully, we have the different the different different
Communication.
communications.
Mhm.
When the commerce minister appeared at MICA on Tuesday,
Mhm.
at that house on Monday, at MICA's special press briefing on Monday. This is why the Minister of Commerce, the Commerce Minister Ahmed Muda said.
Mhm.
He said that there will be, the government of Liberia to the Ministry of Commerce and Industry has disclosed a minimum increment in the price of rice, of the Indian high-board rice on the Liberian market,
Mhm.
which is preferred by many Liberians. And the Commerce Minister Ahmed Muda disclosed that the price of preferred Indian high-board rice will be increased from 16 United States dollars to 18 to 15 cents beginning Tuesday, which was on yesterday. And he said that the increase in the price of Indian fiber rice is based on a new request made by the importers due to global economic conditions. This was what Ahmed Muda said.
Commerce Minister.
Ahmed Muda said at the press conference.
Mhm.
So he is the forerunner of the government in terms of managing the Liberian business climate.
Mhm.
So if the commerce minister who manages the day-to-day affairs of business in front of prices on the Liberian market is confirming to us at the time on Monday that as of Tuesday there will be an increase in the price of rice.
Yeah.
Now, following a meeting after the president considered that, this thing about rice is an urgent situation that we have to deal with. So let's sit with the importers and have a conversation with them. Now, the president convened a meeting with the importers. And after that, this is where we start to observe, there was no connection in the communication. Huh? Let's get this.
Yeah.
The executive management is informing us that the president has disapproved any increment in the price of rice and the prices we need on change training follow and towards review.
That was after the meeting
That was
yesterday.
after the meeting.
Yeah.
So if the president disapproved, the word disapproved, the online that means that the president
I agree.
not agree at all
Yeah. I mean, I agree.
to the increment of rice prices in this country.
Mhm.
Now, this is the presidential press secretary went and said that there will be no increment in the price of rice. He said the decision was reached following the meeting on Tuesday convened by the president and importers of rice. According to the whole government has not approved any increment in the price of rice on the market. Then the question now is that how is it now that the commerce minister, how is it now that the commerce minister is confirming to us that there is an increase in the price of rice? Huh? Then the president say no, this is not. We will not accept any increase in the price of rice. Then it boils down to if this is a decision, right? As a decision, I don't know feedback or no. So from the start, I'm not going to say that.
Right. Go ahead. Go ahead. You're live.
Okay, So then it becomes a conversation that I don't know as to whether the Commerce Minister has to step on this matter because he works with the vision of the president. Okay. So, if in an event that the importers have decided to have price increase because due to global condition, like we stated on yesterday, that this is not a situation that Liberia has absolute control over. But again, there are modalities that can be worked out, right? That is with the government, that of the importers, so that we can keep the price of rice at this level. Now, Ahmed Mobdar should have understood at the time that he has, his boss is the president. So if this is a conversation that the government needs to take action, Ahmed Mobdar should have communicated to the president.
Did he reach out to the president? That's another question.
Should have communicated with the president
before coming over a decision.
That this is where we are, and this is a step. This is a step that we need to take. But by the Commerce Minister account and the president disapproving, right, what the Commerce Minister has said shows that there is no line of communication at the time. The Commerce Minister have succumbed to the importers' demand. So if the importers are telling us that this is it, because of the global condition that we face, there will be an increment in the price of rice. And if that communication is reached, and the Commerce Minister understands that he works at the will and pleasure of the president, before concluding with the importers
or coming over
a statement or addressing Liberians in conformity with the importers' demand, the Commerce Minister should have communicated with his boss. That this is where we reach and presents a conversation that, Mr. President, if the importers are saying we should carry the rice price by an additional $2, and we fail to do so, what will happen? There will be artificial scarcity. So because of this, it's what we don't want to see. So let's adhere to the importers' demand. Because you are a government arm and you represent the president, at that level. Perhaps your recommendation and the conversation you bring forth to the president will not have a consideration looking at the effect of this and have a made a decision. But the fact that the president even disapproving, right, with the Commerce Minister, it shows that Ahmed Mobdar did not consult the president on this thing. This is something similar that happened with George Weah. If you want to record when George Weah, when I call him or D. Master came here or go and sign, gave me preference to gay and lesbian in this country. And we come back and George Weah said, I don't know anything about it. And
even happy international wise. When other people and signed
the Musaskar declaration. And afterwards,
George Weah said no.
George Weah said no, I don't know anything about it. George Weah said I don't know anything about it. Then or D. Master came here at the time, foreign minister said, but no, Mr. President, I work at pleasure. Then George Weah said, but you did not inform me. It's a similar thing that's happening with the rice situation. So Ahmed Mobdar felt that since the president has given that tax to manage the commerce ministry, so everything that he would do at that place would be at his own discretion. So of course, that's not how it should be. The president, especially when it's a matter that has the proclivity to somehow thwart the government's agenda, because the issue about rice, so far, I've been reading through Liberia amongst the few countries in the world that have fought, that fought war only because of rice. So we have history of that. So if the Commerce Minister is deciding to agree to the importers' demand, understanding that this is where we are. Farming as of Tuesday, there will be increment in the price of rice. But if we have a serious and a very let's say this way, if we have a serious environment of such, the Commerce Minister indicted the president. The Commerce Minister made the president, if Liberia was a country that we followed on what others, what those have been appointed by the president, that since as a state represent the view and the interest and the image of the president. Then the Commerce Minister by this time is indicting the president. Then now he places the president in a position at one point in time to be disapproving, then the importers will be saying, but this is your representative.
Yeah.
You cannot send the representative to us
Mm.
and agreeing on principle, Mr. President,
Mhm.
that this is what we will do as of Tuesday. Then the next day, Mr. President, you calling out to a meeting and saying that you
You
disagree
disagree.
what the representative is saying.
So, Harris, you said it rightly. So it means that this commerce minister, in person of Amin Muda, single-handedly went ahead and made a decision on behalf of himself, not the president, not his government, but on his own behalf. So now it has backfired. So it means that the importers listen now. The importer forced to listen to the president.
Oh yeah, of course.
Because he's the one heading the entire government. So Amin Muda portion where he said, there will be an increment $2. The importers should know that the president has already said it, that there will be no increment in the price of rice. So that Amin Muda went and sat down there in your office and said that, oh, there'll be 2% or $2 increment. They shouldn't take it as a face value, or else there will be consequences that will follow because the president have already said it. So now, I want point here to the conversation, my people, is that there should be respect when it comes to working. Mr. Muda should have respected his office by reaching out to the president, informing the president, say, oh, Mr. President, this is what the rice importers are putting forth to us as an administration. What can we do? Then the president was now going to invite the importers like he did yesterday, and if there'll be a understanding between the both parties, then you as a commerce minister now could have come out with a statement. But you went at the Ministry of Information, went there, you came out with your own statement without reaching out to the president. I don't know if you and the president had a previous discussion before you come out with such decision. We don't know, except you come and make us know that you and the president discussed before you come out with such discussion.
Baka, for me, I know that Amin Muda did not consult the president because the word disapproving is strong. I don't know if it is the executive man's own choice of words, but if he disapprove, it means that what Baka saying, and I agree.
And I agree to it. Whether he go or he come down.
If we are to hold that conversation, Buckeye, then it tells you that if the president is disapproving, it means that what the commerce minister said there will be increment was a unanimous decision taken by the commerce minister at the consultation of his boss.
Just in a daytime. And
he understands that he works at the will and pleasure of the president.
Yeah.
That whatsoever thing he engages in reflects the view of the president. So in situation like that, if Amin Muda would have had a conversation with the president and come out and said there will be increment in the price of rice as of Tuesday, and even the president met with the importers and a logical conclusion was reached, the president then will be telling our brothers that we have held consultation with the importers and we consider that the price of rice will remain the same. That conversation sounds different than saying that I disapprove.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So if the president would have communicated to us that the president have met with the importers and consideration have been made, and so we maintain the $16.50, then one will say, okay, the conversation therefore was that the importers agreed on principles. While the principles will be the next question.
Yeah.
But the fact that the president says he disapproved, I mean, what Amin Muda did at the Ministry of Information, Cultural Affairs and Tourism, whether he was pressured, whether he acted at his own will, one can safely say, yes, Amin Muda acted on his own will. Because the president account is what we hold. So if a Baka is being placed at this position, whatsoever Baka will do at that place represents the view. Because in my government, I need a person to drive the library business agenda. I need a person to collect, evaluate, right, and present to me the business climate. So whatsoever that person will do, they represent my view as a president. So if the person before said person will get involved into anything Baka that has to do with decision, I need to be consulted. Because when that decision is taken, the people don't say that Amin Muda will say that President Baka.
Yes.
Right? So that's why Amin Muda should have given consideration. It's not about the way you used to treat a better casa hotel. Like you woke up one morning and say,
money made
do it.
Yeah.
Just as government, This is government. And that's what I said last time, that Buckeye will have a school. I know someday this things will happen. We'll have a school in this country that one of the criteria to be a minister, you go to the Liberal Ministerial Institute. And so we'll teach people how to say that when the Constitution says that as a minister, you work at the will and pleasure of the president, it means whatsoever thing that you will do, even if it is good, it must meet the consent and acquiescence of the president. That's why you have the will and pleasure of the president.
Yeah.
So we cannot have the will and pleasure of the president. Then you come out as a foreign minister,
as a commerce minister, and make
come
decisions.
out with a ginger thing and say,
yeah.
And come out and say,
I will come up with my own price. Then without letting even your boss, the person that appointed the position, know.
Disrespect even the office of the president. So now you place the president in the hands of opposition to air discussing, because this was a decision that you took without the consent of the president. So the president had to call the importers and say, but well, what am I hearing? I'm hearing that you're carrying the breast price of $18.50. Then the importer say, no, and I'll say, oh, we wouldn't inform your commerce minister that global crisis. So we are contemplating or having an increment in price of rice. Then President Boubacar now is telling to the commerce minister, how did this happen? And Ahmed Mudai is saying that we have meeting since February. And the president in his wisdom said, Ahmed Mudai, this is a disservice to my office. Boubacar, we need now someone to say it. From what the president said and what the executive mansion is reporting, we can safely say the president will look in the face of Ahmed Mudai and say, this is a disservice to my office.
Yeah.
You work at my way and pleasure. This is not your Better Casa hotel that you will sit there and make a determination on how much a cup of tea should be sold. All right? Or how much, someone will book your space for. This is not it. They want, before you make a decision, especially in terms of value chain, that will also have a trickle-down effect, whether positively or negatively. Oh, my government, I need to be in consultation. So Ahmed Mudai, you see why you brought and said?
Yeah, most especially political commodity.
So imagine now, you put the president in the hands of opposition to discuss it. Because you did not consult your boss and took a decision that would have affected the operation of the government.
Yeah.
All right. So then what happens? The president now has to call the importers, and the importers are telling the president that even though we have global crisis, we cannot increase the price of rice without the consultation of your representative, who is the commerce minister. Mr. President, we as importer will not come to you and say, President Boubacar, we carry the rice price up, because you have a direct ad that covers and supersedes our activities. That's why we reached out to them.
That's why they wrote
and the commerce minister, and we wrote him after the meeting since February. We had a meeting. We told him about March to May, by April to May there will be an increment, because the new vessel will be learning that several global crises, global conditions affecting our business.
Yeah.
So, Mr. President, we cannot come to you, but rather we will meet with a representative who is the commerce minister. Now, the importers expected at the time that the commerce minister will communicate to the president.
Yeah.
Now, you have consultation with the president, and the president will direct him. Then he will speak on behalf of the president. So, Ahmed Mudai yesterday was speak. Ahmed Mudai on Monday, right? Was then authoritative Buckeye, communicating the view of the president to Liberians, and that's how the opposition took the account. So, like, it follows some people doing comparison how George Weah met in the president as compared to President Buckeye, right? That comparison was done because when the commerce minister speaks, he represents the view of the president.
It means that the president is aware.
He represents the field of the president.
Yeah.
The House and the president will be disapproving with him. You see,
they need to be serious.
You see what is happening?
Yeah, they need to be serious.
This is the same path that the George Weah government treated. But you have certain individuals who work out unanimously and go about it.
Like Samuel Tuah and other people.
And at the end time of it, George Weah will be there, defensive. That I don't know anything about it. But you can't say to us, because the Constitution told us that you as a president, everything that these guys will do will be at your way and pleasure.
Sure.
The way and pleasure means that I must have the desire to do it, and I agree for it to happen. So when Ahmed Mudai is coming out $18.50, it means that the president had the pleasure of doing so, and the president consented. That's how Ahmed Mudai was confident when he talked to the Ministry of Information. Part of that as well, Buckeye. The Ministry of Information represents the official mouthpiece of the government. I would say the commerce minister will take to that podium and say, as of Tuesday, there will be increase in the price of rice. That alone shows that the government has spoken. Buckeye. It shows that the government has spoken. Hey, man. Don't come by the president and say, I disapprove. The president said I met with the importers in consultation. The president said I disapprove, and the president went further. Let me read.
No, they are saying you just because
okay,
everything is there. Everything is
all
there.
Right. So let me get a piece you just sent me. So it says, in response to growing concerns about a potential surge in the price of 5% broken Indian parboiled rice.
Yeah.
President Joseph Boakai has showed that there will be no increase in rice price.
No increase.
Rice prices. This announcement followed a critical meeting with rice importers. Sought by widespread unnecessary amount consumers and businesses over the potential economic impact of the price hike. Though more details have been disclosed, however, the meeting today was part of a series of discussion involving the Minister of Commerce, rice importers, and the business commodity. That's the business community, recognizing the essential role rice plays as a staple food in many households. President Boakai has taken decisive action to address the issue hand-on. In a statement from the president's office, it was confirmed that a pivotal meeting has been scheduled today, Tuesday, where this gathering aims to engage stakeholders in the consultative and when the upcoming dialogue provide. Okay, so a whole lot of things. Boakai is from that end. This is what was on executive mansion page. It said President Joseph Boakai has disapproved any increase in the price of rice, and the prices remain unchanged pending forward and thorough review. Meanwhile, the government of Liberia has advised strongly that there will be no hoarding of this essential commodity and no cross-border transfer of transshipment from Liberia. The Minister of Justice, Commerce and Industry and Joint Security have been instructed to ensure that this directive is fully adhered to. All parties are encouraged to play their part in at this critical juncture as the government strives to move ahead full scale with the implementation of the rice agenda and blah blah blah. So this is it.
So no exporting, no cross border and whatsoever things. That's what the release from the executive mansion is saying. So it left now with the rice importers. So now let's come down to this meeting held yesterday. The president is saying there will be no increment. So now, if the rice importers just hold back, or if the rest that is on the market now, if we finish, and then the rest importers say we are no longer importing rice to the country, what becomes of the Liberian people? Those are some of the things too we have to look at, because the president just coming up with a statement that he don't want to do business as usual, and rest importers should go about doing business. There will be no increment in the price of rice, and the rest importers are complaining that there are a lot of losses they are experiencing when it comes to their business. So I think the issue about this meeting should continue between the president and the rest importers to come with one understanding, because for now, from what we are observing, there haven't been anything like a great understanding between the president office and the rest importers, Harris. I think there should be another meeting between the president and the rest importers, at least let them come to one understanding. Yep, I think so. You want to conclude so we can take some calls, because at 8 o'clock we...
Yeah, I think that you rightly placed it, Boakai. Yeah, there is a need that the president continue the engagement with the rice importers. I know. So I know there will be increment in the price of rice, but the president is contemplating on meeting with the rice importers, like the way the negotiation is currently ongoing. He met with them yesterday. I know as we move along, will also be time that he will adjust to, so that we get this thing done.
Okay, so folks, that's it. Yeah, you listen to us this morning, like we said, at 9 o'clock, or coming out shortly at 8 o'clock. We'll be playing host to Moses Mongai of the Unity Party, Boakai and Kun think tank. Rather, he will be here discussing a wide range of issues that will take us up until 9 o'clock. We'll play host to former presidential candidate in person of Clarence Massaquoi, Clarence Monumba. Clarence Monumba will be here as our prime guest from 9 up until 10 o'clock. So, folks, wherever you are, however you're listening, welcome to the Punch Breakfast Show. You can now place in your calls to 0778-665-699, 0778-665-699, or 080-561644. 080561644 with Boakai Kamara and Harris Bailey. Harris, the issue about NAFA, I think we'll have to table it. I don't know, you want to dip into it a little bit before?
Yeah, we working our ways to have the guys there on tomorrow. So
Okay. So let's take some calls here. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning to the phone family.
Yeah, good morning. Your name is joining us from?
I'm Thompson calling from the SB Cooper.
Welcome, Thompson.
Yeah, the Boakai issue and the rest issue, the people are not telling all truth. Since they have been lying, say he will not fly with private jet is the same rest issue. Let me just tell you, no child will yet move from in a house and say, I'm not cook for 1 month. You say that lie. That child know what is going on in the house. The minister know that he and Boakai have been discussing since Genji Warrior on the rest issue.
So when we were discussing, why is it that he will come out with different statement and the president come out with different statement? We have to look at that.
That is the issue between the motorcyclists and the president now, the vice president and the president. They see misunderstanding. The vice president called the president, the vice president called the motorcyclist, decided to get in 9 months.
So the vice president called the president to discuss what?
The motorcyclist issue. Now, what happened?
And what he told the president?
Please let us get it in 3 months and also to come back.
Even if they give the children 1 year, they will not still do the rifle thing, right? You know that one,
brother. That was rescue. Have the marketing within it.
So
you getting me?
Yeah, I can be now. So when you're using the acronym rescue, it means that everything will not be free, right?
No.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, make a point. Let's take another caller. Yeah.
Everything should be understood based on the environment. You see the people living within. They are tough within the country.
Okay. Thanks so much. Things are tough. Let's take this other person here quickly. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Where are you joining us from?
Jande D. Niamane, I call from Tuporo.
Welcome, Jande.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think the whole issue with the Minister of Commerce was just a mistake because the fact that he would even come and give announcement without the president, approval, that was one error on his path. So I really think there should be a message to those that are already in power, so they should know that before they make any decision, they have to meet or discuss with the president, and then the president give approval before they come on air to give another. Because when information is given out, the people take it so dirty because it's like you are the voice of the president, and not because you are given an opportunity to serve. That means you should just make every decision on your own. No, you should understand that somebody put you there.
Okay.
There's something called reporting in life. You have to report. You have to continue to give reports, so at least you can make decisions together. Because government is not one man thing. If we work together, we'll be able to have too many, good outcomes.
Okay.
But because right now he's putting the president in a serious. And that's just one point, but I don't even have much time to talk.
No much time, my brother. Let's leave it there and take another person quickly. Good morning, welcome.
Thank you, gentlemen. Good morning to the both of you in studio this morning. Good morning to your followers across the country.
Yeah, joining us from?
My name is Hussein Kew, and I call in from Jacobstown in District 2.
Welcome, brother. Let's take 1 minute quickly, man.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. We told people, we have to make the change that we all that those people in the past regime were disjuncted. They didn't have, coordination in terms of disseminating information to the public. The first conference the Ministry of Commerce had, I think it should have been coordinated after the president should have met with those importers and have a resolution. Then the Ministry of Commerce can come up with a press conference in accordance with what the president discussed with the importers. But rather, the president is having a press conference or the importer. Why Adimola is having this?
So it means that we are going back to the scene. The disjuncted government that were in power.
Of course, and I hope some of us who supported this government with our everything will not see those kind of things happening. Our brother will start to mock at us, and say the worst of things that we will not. You see, let us learn from our mistakes. I hope this will not repeat itself.
Okay, thank you.
The This is what the former government started on.
All right, thank you so much. 0778 665 699, 0778 665 699, or 0880 561644, 0880 561644. Let's take this person. Good morning. Your name is joining us from?
Good morning. This is Asibito Bakari from the Arato community.
Welcome, Asi. Let's take 1 minute quickly, my brother.
Yeah, my issue go to the commerce minister.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and me, what the commerce minister did is show to the Liberian people that this government is not ready. How will you get information? Then the person that you're working with, you supposed to get authority from to say something. Then you go ahead and say what you want to say. It means that you have your own power to do what you want to do.
Sure.
So this government is telling us that they have failed us and they are not ready.
Okay. Thank you so much. Let's take another person. 0770, that's 0778 665 699. 0778 665 699. Let's take this person. Good morning. Welcome. Your name is joining us from?
Good morning. Bika. I'm your man calling from District 2.
Welcome, Kaifa.
I want to say that this government, we supported them, and we believe strongly that they are going to make the change. The commerce minister coming up with his own statement, and the president coming up is proving that I wasn't the one who I was not in note of what the commerce minister said. It's surprising to the Liberian people because we believe that the transformation message it brought, it is strongly going to impact the Liberian people. It only they make the change. So I appeal to the government that they should not deceive the Liberian people, because we believe in the agenda of this president, and we know that it's going to make a change.
All right, thank you so much. 07701, that's 0778 665 699. Let's take another person. Good morning. Nima joining us from?
Good morning. This is Michelle Quita joining you from GSA Road.
Welcome, my brother. Let's take 1 minute quickly.
Yeah, brother. I think the president said it right. But the way you people are discussing that maybe when the business people say no, but then my own idea, if I were the president and when somebody gets closer to him, they can the money they giving to the lawmaker for legislative project. Where are those money doing? No money can go and get rest. Government bring the rest and either add $2 or $3 on it, and the Liberian people will be good. Instead of giving no money to the people, like they project 100,000, 200,000, all of the money. What the farm people making the same now, right here, they're not making any farm. You got almost 17 lawmakers for Monsanto. They don't even have a farm. Then they get and legislative project to do what?
Okay.
So the thing that our 95% full year is rest. The government go and import rice. We got almost 4 and 4. So you can carry the rest all the way to Maryland. The refugee will be getting rest from that place. No need your car can eat again and spend 1 more on the road and carry rest before they can eat.
All right. Thank you so much, my brother. We'll take some more calls on 0778 665 699. Keep your calls coming in. Let's take this other person here. Good morning. Welcome. Your name is joining us from?
Thank you. My name is Christian. I join you from the Simere Bell.
Welcome, Christian.
Yeah. I'll let you know how you guys just you see, we cannot live with the same thing I've been in with for change today. The issue about that whole thing, well, for me, I think the president needs to do is to take action against the common minister, because the ministers, they are waiting to see what next. If so, they decide to further and then do even more than what the common minister did. Because like they respect to the president office. You work directly with the president, you take order from the president. We cannot come up saying different thing and then the president saying different thing. Thank you.
Wow. Okay. So we still take some call, and we let me not lie to you. We are speaking from a fact. We are speaking from from a reliable. Something. The thing is that Amin Muda, they respected the office of the president. I'm serious with you. They respected the office of the president by not reaching out to the president before coming up with a decision. And we will not sit here as people, most especially a country that they came, a government that they came under the matter of change. Then they say, we'll change. Where is the change? when the black guy not stand up, a man I mean Murabana says will take some action on him. Yeah, there's take action on that man, that man. There should be action taken on him. Because I will not come here, for instance, you are on a platform. Yeah. And then normally before we come to the show, we can discuss this is what we're coming to discuss. But then single-handedly, I just sit down to my heart and I'm briefing on anything that will come to discuss. Yeah, I just can't. You say no, I say no. Yeah, I just start bringing up topic with no good coordination.
You expect me to participate in it.
Yeah,
and it was the same thing. It was the same thing yesterday, Boakai. And I'm saying this. I'm saying this for fact. Boakai, that's what I said. The Commerce Minister, he acted in a way to bring president, you know, to popular disrepute, because you know what was happening now. You gave the opposition a right to ill discuss the president. Yeah. Now, so folks are having consideration that President Boakai just take over 3 more red press go up.
Yeah.
Why it's true that the importer have met with you since February. You did not meet with your boss. Now this is what the guys are saying.
Since February,
right? Since February they had a discussion. Look at the communication for KNK.
Yeah,
KNK was reminding the Commerce Minister that February we discuss, or we say we'll increase the price of rent.
Yeah.
Where are we?
And he said
that immediately, because when KNK reminded him, that's how he went at the Ministry of Information, Cultural Affairs and Tourism, took to that podium representing the official mouthpiece of the president. In every country, the Ministry of Information, what comes out of there, it represents the view of the president.
Yeah,
it represents the view of the president. Then Ahmed Moda
single-handedly make a decision. Then he want for the trickle-down effect to come to the president. Now it is happening. Let's take some calls again on the line. Good morning, welcome.
Good morning, Harris, Billy, and Boakai. Good morning to the people of Liberia.
Yep, your name is joining us from.
Harris, thank you. There's the voice.
Hello?
I'm aware. I don't know what's happening with his phone.
I don't know what's happening to your phone. We take 2 more calls here on the line. 077-866-5. From the beginning, we told you that once you are a minister or representing the government, once you do good, we will praise you here. And if you misbehave or you do something out of the way, we'll chastise here on this platform. We to sugarcoat anybody. We're not working for anybody here. Nobody here putting money in our pocket. So if you do something out of the way to make the image of the government look bad or make your blah blah blah, we will say it here on this platform. So if you stand there, you say, I will do the thing. Take this person. Good morning, welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much, and good morning to you again.
Yeah, your name is joining us from.
I'm Johnson by Queenstown.
Welcome, Johnson.
Yeah, thank you. And so let me say to you, I would have called in this morning. I'm a feeling impaired man. After you, I felt shocked. And yeah, and my thinking was, even when it could remain like that, we were going to call all of the examples together, the district people together, and we were going to assemble to the president's house. I'm telling you.
Yeah, so the Commerce Minister, they may went and make decision.
And later again, we heard here that the president, he came up with a strong statement that you are not even part and parcel of the say of the minister.
Yeah.
And for now, the say of the minister, look, somebody just coming from Grand Bassa, the deck already high, based up to $800.
Yeah, because statement because for the statement from Commerce Minister.
And you see how they got it, the country, and you see how they got it, the country, yeah. So I mean, what that feel like, even if the reference go up to $30,
it has no effect on him.
He had a need to purchase, but you don't think down. You don't let low down to the common people. The common people who voted the government to power. You don't look down to them.
Okay, thank you. From my observation, they may get something from that importer. Or when they increase the price, probably getting something at 50 cents only. So that one begin when they single-handedly made a decision. That's what I'm thinking. Let's take this person. Good morning, welcome.
Good morning. Good morning to Boakai.
Yeah, your name is joining us from.
Thank you, Boakai. This is the voice of Samuel Sakara. Thank you for being here this morning.
Okay, welcome, my brother.
Thank you, Billy. And let me appreciate both of you this morning for the spread analysis. Look, you know, at times in governance, and these are some of the fundamental issues
that destroy the fabric of our society. Especially there are certain issues that you need to be very careful with as to how you be able to disseminate the information to the people of Liberia.
Yeah.
Look, in 1979, just a piece of name quickly. In 1979, when you talk about the rice wire, it was only the pronouncement of an increment in the price of rice that brought about the 1979 rice wire in this country. If the people of Liberia are not to that extent resilient at this point in time, looking at the level of maturity at this point in time, as Comrade Minister, you go in the access of the president without the president's approval, and you come and say there is an increment of $2 in the price of bread. You know what you're talking about? $2?
Yeah.
It is something that people in Liberia barely afford to even have $1 a day, and you're talking about $2 in the increment of bread. That alone has sparked up a national protestation in this country.
Sure.
At the end of the day, the president and the government becomes a. We need to be very careful when you hear about the Tema Kokuba protest or not, that we are administration with $1 billion. It was because of the misinformation for every individual speaking differently. But then you had the information minister saying different thing. You had the finance minister saying different thing. Yeah, account saying. At the end of the day, the people lost interest in any information that you are trying to bring.
Sure.
I think that our government officials need to be very careful, especially with the issue of rent. This is something that is historical in our country that we don't need to politicize it. It is about telling the people the reality. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you,
good friend.
Thank you,
Sankara,
for calling in and making your contribution. We're still taking calls this morning. Let's take this person. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, anywhere joining us from?
Yeah, I'm Asa Bitoba once again calling from our community.
Asa, welcome.
Yeah, the Comrade Minister have to come to station and to tell us why he have to say such a thing.
I want to agree with you.
To apologize to the Liberia people that what he said, it was not true. Because this is a government that the people of Liberia elected overwhelmingly. And we believe that this government has all the expertise. That's the reason they put them to power. So the Comrade Minister have to come back to beg the Liberia people.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let's take Sekachipo. Sekachipo, good morning. Welcome.
Waka Kamara, good morning, my dear brother. And I would like to say good morning to the Ponce family. For the public, there is a former religious advisor to the Costa Show, and I'm Sekachipo Chinika. call from Banasville this morning.
Okay.
You know, BK, let me go straight to the point. Thank you for your talking point this morning. Mr. Monda's so-called statement was that in the interest of the people. Then I don't have people being held responsible for calling Mr. Monda a Indian or a Lebanese man. Let me say this, brother. Yes, well, that's a fact. So you want to do that to create fake amount for your brothers, right? Well, let me say this, brother. We look up to President Boakai to see. But the thing Boakai that I'm noticing here, Boakai, let me open my mouth and say it. He's taking action. He's too slow. And when he continue on this path, we will disassociate ourselves with him. It took similar thing took place at the executive mansion there. That guy, he got there. Something happened. Up to today, President Boakai has not spoken about it. He's not taking action. So pretty soon you will be no different from George. Where things happen, he's not taking action. Thank you for 3 minutes time.
Thank you so much, my brother. Let's take somebody from this line here quickly. Good morning, welcome. Your name is joining us from?
Yeah, my name is Steven calling from district number 2, Chogodan Riyadh.
Welcome, my brother.
Yeah, so the issue concerning about Amin Moda and the president. When you follow that people are and enslave us, you get them say you are spearheading the leaders or the minister, and yes, it is giving information to the public. I consent. There is a serious contradiction to this government. And we are informing to the public, you know, work in accordance with the code of conduct and the constitution. You can't employ a man or appoint a man who is not working under a control or a mandate. They come out at any time, say anything. It's a serious contradiction. Okay. So we are informing him to decrease the press arrest. Or else we'll call out no more.
Thank you so much.
I remember that he caused this on the president. I mean, all of the accounts coming up, Boakai, they may be right.
Yeah. Let's take this person. Good morning, welcome.
Good morning, Chief. I'm Vanna Okeke, so we'll call you on the Douala end.
Welcome, Vanny.
Yeah. You see, brother, the whole thing about the rest issue, I mean, Boda, I believe when it came up, it was true, it was knowing, the president knows of it. They were just trying to test the water to hear from the public. I believe Omen Baka know. So later when you bypass, they were just testing the water, you know, the Liberian scenario, you say, let's try it and see. But the people, they are trying to do things to enrich themselves. And the rest from previous press, we knew, I think they are saying enough, it is not, but the rate was $17.50, it's going to $18.50. It's not still being added. It's still being added up. Remember, yeah, it's still being added up. So you tell us that the rate price did not go up, it's still being up.
All right, thank you so much. You know, Harris, and I like the fact that people are directing their energy to the person that is behind this. You know, I think what I observed, he wanted to put the president under the bus, but now things have turned his way because the president is no longer going his way. We'll take 2 more calls, then we bring in our guest on this morning edition of the Punch Breakfast Show. So we can take 2 calls, 0778 665 699, 0778 665 699, or 080-561 644, 080-561 644. The lines that you can call in, be a part of the discussion this morning. Let's take this person. Good morning.
Good morning, my brother.
Yeah, your name, where you joining us from?
This is brother Gazin, and I call you from Pinville.
Okay, welcome.
My brother, under no condition, people to blame Boda.
Why you say so?
Boda work at will and pleasure of the president. And every day they are in consultation to tell me that Mr. Boda did not know that the rent will be increased. Man, I don't believe that.
So
that's what they were doing is
the thing about it. That's how it's supposed to be.
That's how it's supposed to be.
Supposed to be, but again, you have people that are defiant. So you can't rule that out.
So you see, a lot of tricks these guys have been playing. Just in the first place, during the inauguration, he knew that the poor brought package for us. So you think
they brought the package. I just hear another one. Which package they brought?
My brother, you didn't go there come on other account inauguration.
My man, which of the package they brought? They all know now. At least you that will inform us, they will know now. Oh, he left it long.
What
kind of package they brought? You can't tell they leave it like it. So folks, we will transition this morning, Harris. Yeah, because we have our guests with us already in the studio. In person of Maurice Moses Mongai. Maurice Moses Mongai is the head of the Buckeyes think tank. He was here the last time, and we talked a bit about the government. By the time the 100 days were into the 100 days, now we are after the 100 days, and we are here now to question on some of the things that you can remember. The mail said, "Oh, BBT now." So today,
100 days, go 8%.
So I don't know what would be the percentage like for him if he was to grade his own government. Some are saying 8%, some are saying 10%, some say probably for him he would say 80%. But you have already heard from Maurice, so we can dive into the program. Maurice, good morning. Welcome to the Punch Breakfast Show.
Good morning, Baka, and also good morning to your co-host. I feel very happy being here because the place looks like a home. So I feel very, very much ecstatic to be in your coaching studio this morning.
Okay, so welcome. But let's start out with the issue about our friend and brother. How is him coming on now? In person of DJ Lomé.
Well, as I speak, I communicated with the wife of DJ Lomé yesterday. He has been taken out of the country due to his very critical condition that he faces currently. He's currently seeking treatment in Guinea. We managed to have gotten some resources here, there, and not to be able to assist the family to take him to Guinea. But as they are in Guinea, things are not still yet fine. with the wife of DJ Lumiere. Things are not fun. This is why we have been calling the public, we have been calling on government officials, we have been calling the Unity Party to be able to make some intervention into the illness of someone who stood for them during difficult times. DJ Lumiere even had his own show on Radio Monrovia, propagating the messages of Ambassador Joseph Mbaka. Now that he has fallen prey to illness, we are calling on the president, we are calling on his lieutenants to be able to assist this man, because President Baka is noted for assisting member of the think tank. He's on record for doing that in 2017. I can quite recall, but then I was the then vice chair for administration. One of our members in Abdul Dode fell seriously ill, and through the instrumentality of the think tank, we spoke with Ambassador Baka. Ambassador Baka flew Abdul Dode to Ghana on 2 different occasions, and Abdul Dode, seek treatment in Ghana by then. But unfortunately, he passed because that was God's will, number one, and God knows what best. Also, I can quite remember in 2017 when that continual issue happened on Johnson Street. One of our members was also involved in person of Rose Goe. Rose Goe legs got damaged. It got fractured, and then we all when the current president heard that members of the think tank were at the John F. Kennedy Hospital because one of our members got injured and other people got injured, I can say for free the president came to the hospital that night. The president evaluated all of the patients in the critical condition of Rose Goe. He promised us that he was going to get Rose Goe out of the country. And I can tell you that very day he made available $3,000 to get Rose out of the country, and Rose was taken to Guinea, and she sought medical treatment. Today, Rose is well and passing. So we know the history of this president. This is why we are calling on his lieutenant. They may not let before, the president not let before, that we just used to go to anyhow. Today, he's the president of Liberia. So we should be able to channel our grievances through people, that are around him, to be able to tell them that a member of the think tank, not just an ordinary member, but the vice chair of administration of the Baka School think tank, in presence of DJ Lumiere, is critically ill. He fell from pressure. The person resulted in a stroke.
Wow. He
cannot talk. He cannot recognize anyone. His right side is paralyzed.
Wow.
On this occasion, I want to appreciate the likes of Amos Twe, Darius Dillon, Patrick Honor, Noah Gibson, Abel Blackie, and other people who contributed that little money, making sure that we got DJ Lumiere in Guinea. It's pathetic, and his condition is still worsening, and as such, he needs our support. So it shouldn't happen to him before we can come out to say we're expressing our condolences. Let's be able to help this brother now so as to make him to recover. I want to appreciate you. That is what I have to say as it relates to DJ Lumiere's current health condition.
Thank you so much for giving us that information. We wish him well as he goes through this period of illness, and the Almighty God will carry him through. So let's now go into our normal politics in Liberia. Man, what happened? Your Nino service, you. What the problem? What happened?
No, Baka, the thing is a process, right?
My man, Harris, I think everything coming finish now.
I'm gonna mess with me. You Greenfield, some country. Can we wear Greenfield go visit them?
This is our own government. This is our own baby. We know we stood the test of time making this government. We know that this president is someone who believes in what he says. This president is somebody who believes in the young people. Just yesterday, people were asking Joseph Vala, Joseph Vala won't be factor. The president took on the occasion to nominate and appoint a young man, President Joseph Vala, as a deputy presidential press secretary. So it tells me the president cannot forget his foot soldiers. The president cannot forget his followers. It's just a matter of time. The president has many pressings to be able to empower, and as such, he's taking his time in making sure that the requisite people are put into the positions.
So even 3 years from now, when we see your name, we shouldn't have problem with it.
No, for me, I mean, as member of the think tank, we did not squarely support Ambassador Baka because we just want that job.
At times, you want to be careful how you choose your words, and I know it is what I'm reading through your conversation. But part of the reasons why people will give their all to a political institution, especially when we are into the electoral process, because at the final analysis, they want to have a direct way to contribute to the growth of that government. That is, to have a direct way of contributing, you must be part of the government. And so persons like you, especially at the time that after the elections, President Boubacar will have considered you in different capacities of his government, and to have you, served in different positions so as to help deliver the government's agenda. And as we move along, it seems like the president is not considering having, if not everyone, but you even appointed in his government.
Well, you cannot outrightly say that the president is not considering us. More besides, like I said, I was support to Ambassador Boubacar. I was not squarely on the issue of jobs, because if that was the case, we could have taken job in CDC government. The first group of young people that CDC came for right after the 2017 election on the Boubacar's think tank. CDC came and CDC took up to 6% for the think tank, all in the name of quote-unquote getting jobs. And I can tell you, my colleagues that left, including Samuel Union, the communication director of MCSS, China Elijah, to Sumo Fodokuduku Sherry, the deputy communication director to transport. Those are people who left. Raja currently being fully employed with the Liberian Petroleum Refinery Company. Those are all opportunities that we had. And I was the second main comment. But I took on the occasion, I said, I believe in Ambassador Boubacar. I knew that a day could have come. It was not about the issue of job, but rather about the issue of commitment to this country. This is why I stood to him. And today, we all are saying that he has become the president. I know, like I said, the president is not forgetting president. The president is on record for always assisting us as member of the think tank. He has never forgotten about us. The only issue,
he will not forget about you.
He will not. Part of the reasons why part of the reason why it is important that the president have the think tank officials or members being appointed, like the situation with DJ Lomel. I mean, if we had those of you from the think tank, appointed the government by this time, you have showed the initiative to have your colleague, your member as well, seek medical attention without perhaps like the way now you calling on the president to do so.
But maybe so I want to get president.
So that's one of the reasons why at times you have the different auxiliaries. You want to have the leaders appointed by the president, so that when situations like this come out, you be able to step in.
Look, Boubacar, let me say this. Let me be on record for saying this. The group they call a think tank. That think tank is a baby of His Excellency Ambassador Joseph Ademola Boubacar. Are you aware that all of the operations of the think tank from 2017 to 2023 were being financed by Ambassador Boubacar himself? Everything we did, we went to Ambassador Boubacar. We were secret. We did not even go to the structure to tell you how much we were glued to Ambassador Boubacar on numerous occasions. Ambassador Boubacar called us for consultation. He met us, he evaluated us, so he knows the role the think tank play. I can tell you for free, the think tank may be experiencing one or two hurdles because maybe people may not be reminding the old man about some of the groups that supported him. I can say for free. Ambassador Boubacar done it before. He's the president of the Republic of Liberia. The number he had, even some of our high privilege too, that number has been changed. So you don't expect.
No one reminds you of your responsibility to a baby. Like as per your discretion. So if the president cherishes a think tank, then I think if the president looking to auxiliaries, right? Because all of the appointments as working for different auxiliaries, I think his baby will be considered.
Let me also say this, okay? This president, this Unity Party-led government is a coalition government. We have several parties that came on board in the second round that supported us. And as you are aware, all of those parties have been factored into the means governance structure.
And forgetting the auxiliaries.
Ambassador Boubacar would not forget about it.
Okay, when last you visited the Unity Party headquarters?
Well, I visit the Unity Party headquarters regularly. I was just at the executive mansion like 2 weeks ago.
When last you visited the Unity Party headquarters? I'm driving at the specific question. That's what I'm asking.
I was at the Unity Party headquarters 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. Yeah. How is the condition of the place? Because we are getting information that party hierarchies, top hierarchies within the party have started neglecting the party headquarters, even the rescue center. Nothing there to rescue the people that are going there now. I don't know what's happening. What are you guys forgetting the party headquarters so soon or what?
No, Boubacar, we would not forget about party headquarters, and that's not even possible. Let me say this as a member of the Unity Party. This is why I'm one of the persons calling for the resignation of Chairman Tapping. I was, yeah.
Wow. Why are you calling for that?
Because look, the position of party chairman is a full-time job. It is not a job, to be. I don't even know how to turn it. It's not a part-time job.
Okay, what's about secretary?
Even the secretary general.
So he should resign as well.
Exactly. The secretary general needs to give way. That's a full-time job. The party needs to be functional. The party needs to move on a daily basis. You cannot have the chairman, the sitting chairman, the secretary general occupying key position in government. How do you expect the party to be functional? How do you expect the party to be active when it comes to responding to the governance structure of our country?
Does the view represent the view of the think tank?
Well, this is my personal view, and this has been the view. And this has been the view of many of our party, many of our partisans in the party.
That's the view of you. That's your personal view. You can say
the think tank has now mandated me to speak on issue of such nature. While it's true, I'm the official spokesperson of the group. I'm the chief spokesperson of the group, but the think tank has now mandated me to speak in such fashion and manner. But we have seen the need, and we have been wrestling our party
because part of the reasons why I asked that Morris is because if you speak like the way you just mentioned, in your view, perhaps the likes of Chairman Tape, SG, Amos Tuer, who considered that you have some personal issues with them. But I'm coming now. But if you speak, under the umbrella of the think tank, then it becomes an auxiliary of the party that have some issues with them. Now putting time in the party becomes a different conversation. That's what I asked as to whether this view represents the view of the think tank, or it is more Moses is your personal view. And again, you want to consider how well that Chairman Tape and that of SG Amos Tuer will treat you moving forward.
Well, Chairman Tape knows, Amos knows that the person sitting in studio here supported them wholeheartedly. We put in our all. Okay, I was even acting like at that convention. I supported Chairman Tape. I was the secretary general for the group that led Chairman Tape to join the Unity Party. And but then the then chairman was Anthony Williams, the representative of People's Southern District. So I'm not stranger to Chairman Tape. Chairman Tape know I'm one of his strong supporters, and I will always support Chairman Tape.
Have you reached out to him personally?
Well, Chairman Tape, as I speak, Chairman Tape is all over the country. Chairman Tape is in the party chat room, and Chairman Tape have seen that there are partisans calling for his resignation because the position of chairman of a governing party is a full-time job. Chairman Tape cannot be running the affairs of Freeport as a board chair and at the same time running our party. He would not be effective as it should be. And as such, he needs to be able to give way to someone who will sit at the party headquarters.
And someone may say the appointment of Chairman Tape at the Freeport, the board of the port, is to help some partisans at least get some job at the port. That's why they say him there. Don't you think so?
Even being the chairman, but the matter of fact that Chairman Tape is the chairman of the party, he has that language to recommend people even to the office of the president. I can tell you, are you also aware that one of the presidents that Chairman Tape recommended to the office of the president? Just that we are there waiting for our time with one of the presidents. So it tells you that I have nothing personal with Chairman Tape. I would never have anything personal with Chairman Tape. The SG and Chairman Tape recommended me. I was one of the partisans, that Chairman Tape and the SG Amos Tuer recommended. So I don't have a personal issue with them. But the issue with our party is supreme, and as such, we need people who will sit at the party and to propagate the messages of the party and the government to be able to inform the public on happenings of the government. Like we are aware, in 2018, when Nathaniel Magay that he wanted to become minister of state, what he did, he resigned. He resigned the position of chairman because he knows that he cannot be the minister of state at the same time, running the affairs of the party. It becomes so difficult. So we are calling on Chairman Tape to set similar precedents in making sure that he gave way for somebody.
I'm considering that Chairman Tape was elected.
He was elected to a convention for 6 years.
And for 6 years, which means that he still carries
up to 2028 July.
Up to 2028 July. So the decision to resign, it is squarely in his power.
Sure.
But what I'm looking to, how is it that just a few months ago, it was the same very Unity Party partisans at the time talked to the president house when the first 2, 3, 4 different lists that came out of appointments, and Chairman Tape was not a part of it. It was the same very Unity Party partisans that went out and petitioned the president
to appoint him.
That the party chairman needs to be appointed.
Yeah.
That the functioning of the party as a whole. These things were being considered. But you guys, how is it so soon that now Chairman Tepe is comfortably seated, right, whilst doing his NPA job at the same time? Perhaps you could say affecting the two. And now you guys coming up again with a different side of composition.
Yeah, let me speak to that. Okay, we are aware. If you look at the party structure, Chairman Tepe comes third. For the president, the vice president is Chairman Tepe. Chairman Tepe deserves to get a job. We wanted Chairman Tepe to get a job. Some even put him on Chairman Tepe to become the Minister of State for Presidential Affairs.
No,
but the president,
a party level, Chairman Tepe comes first.
That's what I'm saying.
A party level now, so they get it. So, you know,
we have the stand-up bearer. The chairman runs the day-to-day affairs of the party. But when it comes to the NEC of the party, when it comes to the National Executive Committee, the stand-up bearer presides. Okay, it's not the chairman. That's from that position. As we about, he runs the day-to-day affair. We are putting Chairman Tepe to become the Minister of State for Presidential Affairs. But the president had his own vision for his office, and as such, he appointed his long-term friend in Sylvester Grace, but we had no problem. What to be factor? This chairman stood the test of time. The chairman run through rigors and constraints in making sure that President Baka got elected, and as such, the chairman needs to be factor. Now that the chairman been factor, we are saying that the chairman should be able to make the party move forward. The party should be releasing some releases or statements or happening of our own government.
Is the ruling establishment, the Unity Party, not functioning now, so speaking?
No. What I'm saying, the two official spokespersons of our party is the chairman and secretary general. And the both of them are into mainstream government. Okay, they cannot be into mainstream government at the same time speaking on behalf of the party. We don't see that as being logical for us. We don't see that as being logical. So we are only asking them, we are appealing, they were elected for 6 years. We are appealing to them for you love this party. The party is baby. You have been with the party. You know what Amos Troy went through for the Unity Party. You are been in this country. You know what Amos Troy went through for the Unity Party. Amos Troy lost the Unity Party. Okay, so that's so say Amos Troy loves the Unity Party. Chairman Tepe loves the Unity Party. We are only appealing them to give way for a new breed of leaders to take over the matter of affairs of the party, to be able to make the party more functional. That party headquarters be crowded on a daily basis. People should be trooping in there every day in making sure that the right things are done. But these things are not happening.
Again, someone will blame the president for all this, and Moses. And this is where Morris rather, and this is where my conversation comes in. President Walker was set out this conversation to Chairman Tepe and that of SG Amos Troy prior to their appointments. That now that we are about to take on a job to ably assisting at the national level, there are concerns in you giving up those positions because the Unity Party has to be functioning effectively while we deal with the government at a larger scale. But from all indications, I want to believe that a second position wasn't brought forth to Chairman Tepe and that of Amos Troy, because I want to be those are individuals perhaps who have considered even managing the party than taking up the government job.
No, let's be realistic, right? President Baka is a Democrat. President Baka knows that he himself was elected for 6 years. Like Amos Troy and Luther Tepe were all elected for 6 years. President Baka cannot coerce Amos Troy and Luther Tepe to leave the position of chairman and secretary general of our party. The only thing we all can do is to continue to appeal to them because those people were elected at Ambassador Baka. Ambassador Baka is still the standard bearer and political leader of Unity Party up to 2028 July. So we cannot say because he's the president now, so he should relinquish the position as a standard bearer and political leader of the party.
Okay, so if the both persons that you are recommending at least they resign their position because of the huge tax of that they have on hand, if they don't resign their position, is there any other play from the Buaka's own think tank?
Well, for what I know, like we said, it is their own prerogative whether to resign or not. They were elected, they have the constitutional power there for 6 years. If they refuse to resign, we as Unity Party, we cannot coerce them to resign because they were elected. This party is a democratic party. And as such, we have democracy in the party. We always have for democracy in our party. We will not coerce the other political party in the parliament running behind our chairman and Ryan.
Okay.
We will not do that.
All right, so
we
Morris,
will continue to help you to resign so as to create a mini convention for the party that will be able to elect, our new chairman and secretary general. Because the chairman and secretary general is very important to our political party.
So more let's move on to the 100 days. The president has passed the 100 days. There was a lot of promises made by him and his administration when it comes to the 100 days. How do you look at it? Do you think he succeeded immensely when it comes to the 100 days deliverable?
Well, this president is the president of his word, and as such, he has been keen, in making sure that 100-day deliverables are met. And I can safely say that the government, through the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning, released a performance on the 100-day deliverable of our government. And I can tell you that while it's true that we have some projects that are still ongoing, that the issue of roads, the president said that in the first 100 days, there will be no car that gets stuck in the mud. The president has been working tirelessly in making sure that that vision comes to reality. As you are aware, all of the major corridors in this country, you have earth-moving equipment on all the major corridors. Those places that car used to get stuck, those places have been rehabilitated.
Yeah, because we haven't reached the rainy season.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah,
we will have routine maintenance on the road during the rainy season. You need the party government, not for that. You can remember in past time, we were using no corridors, through all the rainy season and the gas season, because we will have those companies that will be on the road in making sure that the road is pliable. Those roads will be maintained up to the gas season. Okay, so we're not just face the road. Say, okay, yeah, we're leaving it. We'll say that because the issue of the president's commitment to his people still stands, and as such, those roads will have to be maintained.
Let's look at governance.
Well, governance, we are on course. The president, like I said, he's somebody who stands by his word. The president has carried on an government. As you are aware, there are people who work in the CDC government. We have also seen it into the Unity Party-led government because this president is an inclusive president.
Perhaps those might be individuals that are with George Weah government and supporting that of the Unity Party.
There is no public record. There is no public record on those people supporting us. Okay, the issue. Let's take for instance, look at the lady of Sarah Bronson. She has been at the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning since days of when I said Deputy Minister for Budget. When President we had took over, he maintained her as Deputy Minister for Budget. When President Biden took over, he maintained her as Deputy Minister for Budget. Okay, so is that about at times it's not about the issue of people supporting you one way or the other. It's at times it's about the issue of qualification. President Biden believes that she's the right person to carry on that his transformational agenda for the Ministry of Development Planning when it comes to the issue of his budget. So there's people. Okay, there are people we know that in the government and they want to support us. There are people even in the second round. In my own big brother, right in district number 2, Edwin Teza, that was supported CDC into the second round. For today, President Baka appointed him. The issue of our own big brother, the deputy minister for sport and equipment, he did not support us. Today, the president same thing, he doing bad in a lot.
And you are still here.
And you are still here not being appointed. And he's listing the people that never supported the president, but he's here now.
This is why we believe in this president. The president is the
man. You believe in the president on the TV show.
My brother.
Yeah.
I know people. Why do you think Ernest left or CDC? Left CDC because I felt that agreement that they went into, the framework document they went into, that framework document was not held to. President Biden doesn't want to contravene all of the agreements he went into political parties with. So President Biden, remember there are people President Biden appointed, those are people that other people are recommending. President Biden doesn't know when he appointed. So if President Biden says that he will, that instance he will get EFFL 3, 4, 5 stars. EFFL has that authority to recommend those people. So when those people are recommended, it's a will of President Baka to appoint them. Okay. But after the appointment, if anyone goes against the public trust, anyone goes against public policy of this government, I can tell you for free, you will be fired.
Okay, so a major concern on the minds of many Liberians is the issue. I can recall that prior to the president's declaration of the assets, President Boakai, even at the time during the campaign, if you may recall, he was emphatic that he would declare and make public his assets. More since February now, the president declared his assets. We are yet to see said document to be published. It has, to some extent, said conversation has taken a center stage in Liberia. That even some of your supporters, like the legs of Zhao Gibson as well, has raised some concern on that issue. A few days ago, he challenged the president to do so. I mean, we are folks are considering as to why the perpetual delay on the part of President Boakai. I mean, to have his assets published since declaration.
Well, they look. Let me say this. I may be wrong, but I don't know as to whether President Boakai is on record for saying that he would declare and publish his asset. President Boakai said he would declare his asset in keeping with law, which he did effectively. The law does not call for anyone publishing the asset.
But is it a problem of he publishing it?
It is not a problem if he chooses to publish his asset on a separated day. I mean, on a proposal ability of magnanimous.
We are here with you guys came with the matter of change. Yeah, not doing business as usual. Why can't you publish? Is this something?
Well, it is not by law. If the president feels that, I mean, he wants to publish asset, he will do it. Okay. But there's nothing compared to the law says he should publish his asset. From
their own perspective, Maurice, I mean, as an individual and a supporter of this government, don't you think that publishing an asset means well for this country? Then there's, being kept on the fire.
Like President Boakai has always said, we should learn to distinguish our personal money from public funds. He's on record for always saying that. And I know, like I've always said, this president is a president of his word. Everything he says, he means it. And I saw
question here. I'm asking you as a supporter of this government. Don't you think the president, after declaration, to publish his assets is a good?
I maintain that is so prerogative of the president. If the president sees a fit to
what do you see
a public asset? Look, for me, I've always craved that the law should be amended. People should be mandated to declare in public asset.
Like the president.
Yeah, I said the law should be amended. That people should be mandated to declare.
A lot of you criticized George Weah at the time when George Weah declared his assets and said wasn't published.
No,
some of you, I'm coming to a point. Some of you from the Unity Party have said at the time in 2019, that George Weah, after declaration, it was important that the president, who serves as the image of transparency in our governance structure, should muster the courage, even though the law does not mandate that said assets should be published. But the president should take on the initiative to have said document published as a way of regaining the public's confidence. I mean, now that the conversation works well with your Unity Party, I felt that a president like you would have called on your president that since he has declared his assets, publishing it mean well for you as a Unity Party supporter.
Let me say this: you cannot compare President Boakai with President Weah. What president?
There was nothing different.
We saw Boakai. What President Weah contested as senator in 2014, we saw the asset of President Weah. And we had declared his asset of the LCC. Some of us know what President Weah had. President Weah claimed that he only had 50,000 in his bank account. President Weah declared
because said document was published. That's how you saw it.
No. In government, if President Weah left government, he had to kill all people started complaining, right? It's always the case, right? If President Boakai, the day he leaves government, he asset. You will see President Boakai asset up.
So you want for him to leave government?
No, what I'm trying to say is Boakai.
I can't. Okay,
he asked me a very critical question. I want to address it. people raised concern on President Weah asset because everyone saw President Weah declared asset in 2014. And this man was just worth little over $1.5 to $2 million in both asset and cash. But then we saw that after they made took over, because the later ones he get in Miami, Florida, in the tune of 1.5 million, they want to get at 9th Street, some 150,000, the one he had, we had some 200,000. Then how can they make are going to million or 90 so or million?
So how can
we start to question the sources of President Weah income?
Okay, so
how do we have asset? And we saw your asset. And you get all the money for building 37 condominiums, you building your private mansion,
don't you think
breaking all your property and so on? That was public speculation that he must have done something wrong. Okay, Morris, that's the case of Ambassador Baka. Ambassador Baka is not building.
No, Morris, let me hold you there. Morris, you were not telling us that Baka haven't done this, haven't done that, because we haven't seen an asset. We know some of the properties that he have. Yeah. Because if we see his asset, that's when we'll come up with the criticism that, Mr. Baka, you said you're having this, now we are seeing this. So it means that we have to have access to an asset, then we'll know what next to go. Because, we had access to the former president asset. That's why you guys will be running from there with the criticism to what former president George Manneh Weah. So now you guys are shielding the publication of the president asset to make it known that the president is so clean and the president is clean because we haven't seen it.
Baka, yeah, we got Weah asset to our intelligence bureau. Okay,
so you want for them to intelligence bureau. You say you are here for change.
Yeah, we are here for change.
Let's do something differently.
But the law does not call for that. The president, no, for me, like I just said here, I call for the resignation of Chairman Tappe, right? But I said the law does not give me the authority to do such. He can only do it on the basis that when he sees fit, right? I was clear about it. The law does not give President Baka the authority to publish his answer, but you allow the president to publish it. Yeah, and people have been speaking on it. Even the likes of Senator Delo has scored on. Senator Delo is one of the strong supporters of Ambassador Baka. He has called on the president to publish the asset because he believes that it is a democratic process. It's a good governing process, and as such, I believe that the president should publish the asset. But when he sees a fair, do it. All right, so let's move on.
Let's look at the future of the opposition. Be careful about it, John. Yeah, let's look at the future of the opposition political party, most especially the CDC. Do you see any feature for the CDC, most especially the upcoming 2029 elections? Do you think they can unseat the Unity Party?
No, absolutely not. You are aware. Remember, the Unity Party is a very serious party.
So CDC not serious?
CDC is serious party.
CDC is serious. They just govern you in this country. No. They just govern you. They took power. Let's be the dead president. Let's be realistic for the conversation. No. Listen, I'm Baka. I'm coming. Right? You say that the party is not serious. I'm coming out. We need to be sincere to the conversation.
Sure.
If Morris is confirming this morning that the CDC won an election at the mercy of the Unity Party in 2017, I don't know as per his yes, because if you have a party, the CDC that won 14 of the 15 counties, as compared to your Unity Party that just won an election with a struggling 70,000 votes, it's questionable. But it's questionable. Yeah. Here is it, Moses. I'm saying, Morris, I'm thinking, I don't know your definition of being on serious as with the case of the CDC.
Let me say this. Like I said, CDC won by the mercy of the Unity Party. This is not a hidden secret. Everyone knows in this country,
except me. I don't know.
But you know, the last of Amakone confess that he was the one who spearheaded the CDC 30 in 2017. Okay. We all are aware that Manasseh supported the then opposition party at the time in CDC. It is not a hating thing in this country. But let's stop all the resources from going to the Unity Party. She gets CDC all of the resources, and CDC won election in this country. You are aware that you didn't hold hands
of the voters to vote for George Weah.
In the second round, you are aware that Manaswedi persuaded all of those parties that were contained of people like King Telfo to go and join the CDC. The likes of Prince Johnson and other people. She convinced them to go and join the CDC, and now her own party, which was the United Party.
Those are people that supported you for you to win election.
And that account can be Morris.
The United Party won election. Morris popular web.
No. When I'm coming to Prince Johnson and other political parties, that's what I help them.
Obviously, no, but right. If you are saying that Madam Salif at the time did not support her own party,
yes,
and President Buhari was in opposition in 2017, or had to support George Weah, the understanding and the online conversation, therefore, is that because Madam Salif was leaving power after 12 years, she needed someone she was trusted the country with that will continue on what she has established. She was never seeing that in Joseph Boakai.
Yeah,
that's a conversation.
She was never seeing that. She never saw that in Joseph Boakai. That's why she said. That's why she told the country what to see.
I spoke with the current president. I spoke with the current president. It was very that Manassi was never going to support Ambassador Boakai. Ambassador Boakai took me to Lofa in December of 2016. I spent my Christmas in Lofa. We had that conversation with the president, President Boakai. And we knew that Manassi was not supporting
because you're not fit by that time. Because you're not fit to
on the basis that Manassi wanted to choose his vice president, and that where the problem came from, and he was question to Manassi. In somewhere in Grand Basso or River said saw him playing. I was doing my.
That was the side of the story, though.
But it is not any secret that Manassi wanted. Tell you. That Manassi wanted a late Councillor Bronskin to go and run him to Ambassador Boakai. Ambassador Boakai refused. That's not any secret in this country.
Okay.
On the basis of that, she decided to bring back
the President Boakai at the time provided any justifiable reason as to why he refused for Councillor Bromskin at the time, who was qualified and competent to become vice president, on his refusal to not allow Councillor Bromskin. The president, since you said the president told you, I mean, confidentially, that at the time, it was because of the Bronskin scenario that he fought apart with his boss.
Yeah.
Which at the time, every politician will want their boss to support them, especially in a situation like Madam Salif at the time.
Look, you see, this is why some of us, right? You see, for me, I like to speak, to political reality. Some of us were very clear. We told Ambassador Boakai that at the time, President Boakai is just a straightforward man. In politics, right? If you want to get a certain level,
you have to be straightforward.
All the time you'll be straightforward, right? That be realistic, right? Not all the time you'll be straightforward. You need it. Even it could also be me, right? I live in power. I look at my able deputy. I told my able deputy, I want for you to do X, Y, and Z. And my able deputy refusing. If he gets there, do you think he will ever listen to me? Now that he has not gotten there, but he's not listening to me. So Manassi saw it as an affront. But we have problem. She needed, when it came to the issue of the vice presidency, that was his personal choice to make. Okay? And the Constitution is clear. The 2 times you carry Ambassador Boakai, that was her personal choice. Are you aware that there were hurricane in the party wanted Manassi to carry Ambassador Boakai in 2011? People honor mind that pick. People went against that pick. But she saw a fake that the right choice to go with her as vice president, Ambassador Boakai, and she chose Ambassador Boakai to go on for the second time. Okay. So he too wanted that privilege of choosing his own vice president.
All right. So
he was not given an opportunity.
Okay, Maurice. So folks, we'll open the phone lines because we are running with time this morning. We have roughly about 10 more minutes to go on this show. So we will open the phone line 0778 665-699 0778-665-699 080-561644. Maurice, the issue about rice and this government, why are you staying on this issue? I mean, Muda is saying one thing, the president is saying another thing.
Well, you see, this is why some of us we don't take certain key issues with so much politics. The issue of rice in this country is very dedicated, it's very dedicated. And as such, I've always told people, even during the days of CDC, we should allow market forces, to operate and determine prices. We should always allow that. We cannot continue to put politics into business. That economy is a free market economy. Okay, those people who are investing that money through the regulation of government, should be able to determine price, the essence of making business to maximize profit. We are agreed as have been some 20% subcharge placed by the Indian government on parboiled rice. Government can either allow that burden, that tax burden to be shifted to the government, or the government allow it to be shifted to the consumer. So the government has a very delicate decision to take. You know, shift it, you as a government can say that will come in to shift the tax burden to, or we will pay the taxes, or you shift it to the end user, which is the consumer, which is the ordinary people. So a lot of people, like, you know, a post something when I see people making noise, you know, about the government left rest at 13 hours. You keep talking to 17. Okay, you keep talking to $17. Today you are now complaining that the United Party left government want to carry.
Yeah, but now you taking it from $17, carrying it up to 18 plus.
That's what we're saying, right?
so that's the same thing now.
That is why.
Yeah.
I will hear my brother. I'm not somebody that will buy wrong in my own.
Yeah, but we shouldn't be doing that comparison when you're not going to carry the rest of the price of rice up. Then we say, oh, blah, blah, blah. But now you are carrying it up.
That is why some serious critical issue in our party chat room. How can a comment minister come out to speak that rice will be increased by $1.50, taking it to $18.50, and then the president trying to reverse that decision? So are you telling me that the comment minister took that decision unilaterally?
Of course.
He that consult the president?
Of course.
Which was wrong. This is why the president has decided to step in. And we are calling upon the president that nobody in this government should ever, when it comes to critical decision making, the president to have the final say in determining what happens to the rest is a political commodity. Rest is elastic, rest does not have any possible substitute. So you cannot keep carrying rice price up. Okay, because if you carry rice price up, I say I will be a victim of it. Okay, because I have family too to feed, I have children to feed. All right. So the issue of rice, we are calling on our government, we are calling the president, now that he has stepped in, we want the government to maintain. Are you aware that when Unity Party took over, Unity Party drive rice by some 25 cents? Rice are being sold by $16.75. We took it for 17, I will drop it, but now that the Indian government have added additional money, subcharge of 20 cents, all we are calling our government to do is to shift that tax burden to our government. All right,
thank you so much. That's the voice of Maurice Moses Mongai. He's from the Unity Party. We are here discussing some wide range of issues this morning on the Punch Breakfast Show with Bwakai Amara Kamara and Harris Billy. So we're not taking your calls. Keep them coming in on 0778 665 699, 0778 665 699, or 0801 644 0880 561 644. You will be live with us this morning. We can take like 4 to 5 calls. Then we will bring in our second guest in person of the former presidential candidate, Mr. Clarence Moniba. Let's take this person here quickly on this line. Good morning. Your name is joining us from.
Thank you. And good morning to the both of you again. Good morning to your studio guest, Mr. Monga.
Welcome.
Yeah, this is Hussein Kew, and I phone in from around Jacobstown in District 2. Let me commend Mr. Monga for such an analysis and being fair enough to the discourse. And I just want to support his ideas and appeal to our party leaders. You know, for me, I think that is a conflict of interest. MS Square cannot be running the LPRT and at the same time the secretary of the Unity Party. Or qualified Unity partisans who can serve in such capacity. So they have to see what we call expediency. Now, expediency have to play in. You have to relinquish this position so that other qualified Unity partisans can serve in the position as well. So, and moving to the state of affairs, I think this got 100-day deliverables. I think it was massive. They did exceptionally well in terms of infrastructure or road connectivities. You know, the issue of the war, the economic crime. I think that was the biggest achievement of all things in the history of our country. No government have achieved such.
Okay.
So that was a massive achievement by this government and the president.
All right. Thank you so much. We take some more calls on 0778 665 699, or the WhatsApp number is there. Somebody will call in on the WhatsApp. You can call in. We'll put you through 0778 665 699. Good morning. Welcome. Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, just position a bit so we can get you clearer. Your name is joining us from? What's your name?
Doris.
Okay, man, Doris, welcome.
Okay, thank you for your studio guest
and
the government of excellency they well for the 100 days, or we decide, and I know that the president will do more. But according to the general secretary everywhere, he need to give the job or another Palestinian ticket. We get 45 children. And the Unity Party, we have to do something.
Okay.
And they're forgetting about us. So they need to look beyond.
Okay.
So thank you.
Thank you so much, Matt Doris. Thanks for calling in. All right, let's cross over to the WhatsApp number and take this person. Good morning, welcome.
My name is Douglas. I'm calling from Europe. How are you?
Oh, doing pretty well. Douglas, welcome. Take a 1 minute quickly, my brother.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Look, I don't know what Ami Modad they are doing, Look, let me tell you, they just take money, they take maybe the amount, they just take millions and just carry to those countries and buy rice and store it. You will not lose because you will still sell the like the port charges and these things will not be added on the money, on the rice. The government will be importing, So you will sell it like here in Europe. Each time we do shortage. What the government do, they have these things all over. They store the products, they store those commodities. So each time there's shortage, they will open those areas and we'll go there and buy them cheap. During the Corona time, we went to those places and bought things cheap, That the prices cannot be added on us. So I mean, more than they can just they go there and they buy the rice because they will not be paying port charges, they will not be paying taxes. When they bring the rice, they sell to the people cheap.
Okay.
It's very easy.
All right.
You'll get your money back.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you from Europe there being a part of the conversation. Let's come back home. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, Harris Bede.
Good morning. Good morning. Welcome. You're live. Your name is joining us from.
Thank you, Bede, and that of let me say good morning to Morris Moses Moga. This is the voice of Samuel Sakara Johnson. I speak to you from Painesville this morning. And let me appreciate my brother for the splendid deliberation, but I will have for the method disagreement with him. And Billy, this is it. As young people, we must have to be sincere when we come to the discourse and directed to the issue of those appointed officials by the president holding position within the political institution. When my brother Moses Moga said we just have to appeal to them, it means that he's not even looking at the Constitution or the legal violation of the Code of Conduct. These were for the method issues that we agitated against the CDC for the last 6 consecutive years. When people in executive that were appointed by John Greer were still serving in the CDC, but then we all agitated. It was on the basis that we all consolidated as an opposition to remove the CDC on the basis of gross legal violations of our law. Now, if you come to the Unity Party, now the party chairman is being appointed by the president. The secretary general is being appointed by the president. The vice chair for mobilization and recruitment is being appointed. I can say, in fact, the entire executive committee member of the Unity Party is being appointed by the president. And today they are still holding key positions in the Unity Party. It's a gross violation of the
all right, my brother.
That we claim to have been protected. So it is not about Becky that they must have the moral conscience to ensure that they must uphold the rule of law. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much. I like this.
I love it.
Yeah, let's take one more call. Then we end it with Morris Moses Mongai this morning. We can take one more call 077-866-5699. Let's take this person. Good morning. Your name is joining us from.
Good morning. I'm Asif calling from the Aratu Bell.
I say welcome.
Yeah, my contribution have to do with the president declaring his assets. Yeah, the president have to do so because he's supposed to be transparent. What he do is what other people will follow. Over 500 persons elected into president and only 70 had declared their assets. And meanwhile, are we heading to? It's like they are not truthful to us.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. So we will wrap it up. Morris, you listen to the callers.
Well, let me appreciate all of the callers and also to my brother Thomas Sankara Johnson. I think he raised a very valid point. Thomas, we will not be blind loyalists in our own government. Whenever we see things going wrong, we will say it. And I believe your point is also cogent, that the issue of the code of conduct have been violated by the public official, and as such, we are calling upon them to resign their respective positions. Okay, and let me close on this note. Baka, like Ambassador Baka has always told some of us, the issue of agriculture in this country is very pivotal, and as such, this president is going to invest heavily into the agriculture sector. I see people questioning or saying that, oh, the president, the issue of agriculture is not a priority for this government because the budget of the agriculture ministry is little over 5 to 6 million. Are you also aware that we have grant and loan in the tune of over 42 to 43 million, all budget support are going to the sector to be invested into the sector? Liberia spends up to 200 million every year to import rice into this country. That money, we need to see our best to invest into our local rice production. We have the CDA, the Cooperative Development Agency. We need to put cooperatives together. We need to subsidize farmers. We need to put our farmers to work in making sure that we increase rice production in this country. We cannot continue to depend on India and other countries to supply our rice. Say we say rice is our staple food. Let's go back to the soil, making sure that we produce rice for sufficiency so that our people can carry on a livelihood in peace.
Thank you much more for coming. Thank you for so always answering our call.
Thank you so much for putting me the chance. The new opportunity I always avail myself.
Okay, that's the voice of Maurice Moses Mungai joining us this morning on the Punch Breakfast Show. He hails from the Unity Party, which President tried to Ali put my brother so I didn't man. Let my brother be doing something, man. At least, man. So Ali did too much. He's from the Buckeyes think tank. So come here shortly. We'll take a commercial break. Right after the commercial break, we already have with us our next studio guest in person of Mr. Dasa Dato. Yeah, for me to say Mr. Egide. Dasa Dato Clarence Monuba. He's a former presidential candidate. Here in Liberia. He will be here. We will be talking a wide range of issues, most especially talking governance. How do he see the Unity Party governing system? How do a lot of things and other touching point. We'll be talking about that. But let's take this commercial break. Right after that, we'll come back. We bring you a splendid discussion here.
Your real property taxes. Your real property taxes.
My people, you don't hear it? The LRA people, the people then that can collect government taxes, they say that it's time now to pay your real estate tax. Whether you get house or you get land in a city or outside the city, the LRA people say that it's time to pay your tax from now to July 1 this year. The people from the LRA will be in your community to tell you everything you need to know. So look out for them. They will come and teach you everything you need to know about paying your taxes for your properties. Just cooperate when you see them in your community. In your knowing, when you pay tax, all of us can enjoy. When you pay your tax on your land or your house, the government will do plenty of fun things for all of us. Pay tax, we all enjoy.
In a limited from a board, don't run. You can pay it when you living uptown. Pay your real property taxes. Pay your real property taxes.
Tax payment is a national duty.
When we all contribute, we become entitled to development. We are the authors of our destiny.
Tax payment is a commitment we make towards the future of the unborn generation.
When we pay taxes, we hold our leaders accountable.
Be a part of change. Be a part of transformation.
Pay tax. We all enjoy.
Tax payment is a national duty.
When we all contribute, we become entitled to development.
We are the authors of our destiny.
Tax payment is a commitment we make towards the future of the unborn generation.
When we pay taxes, we hold our leaders accountable.
Be a part of change. Be a part of transformation.
Pay tax. We all enjoy.
It is new. It is a revolution. Yes, we are the biggest betting partner and we are here to stay. Man, people may listen to your favorite radio, Punch FM 106.7. Listen, just make sure you get your MTN mobile money account ready because Mokofi Umpa is coming west. Listen to your favorite presenter on Punch FM 106.7 Punch Cash giveaway. To be a part, dial *799#. Every entry is just 100 Liberian dollar. And enter as many times as you wish. Don't say I not tell you all. Radio Entertainment.
Okay. We will have to go strictly into business this morning. Good. Okay, so folks, wherever you are, however you're listening, welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is the Punch Breakfast Show. We now have with us, Harris, you want to start?
Yeah, we're going to begin, Paco. That's Buakai. But let's welcome one of our professional colleagues. He has joined us as guest panelist this morning. April Paco. I don't know which. Okay, that's good. Well, good morning, Paco, and it's feel good to have you collaborate with us this morning on this special interview.
Good morning, Harris and Buaka. Like I said, good morning to the people of Liberia. It's great to be here. Yeah, like you place it. It's great to be here, and I think we look up to having a wonderful conversation.
Okay, that's April Paco representing the OCM. It's good to have you on the Punch Breakfast Show as well. So it's a team of three quizzing Dr. Moniba this morning. With almost 15 years of working in and out of government at the Liberian Embassy in Washington, D.C., and permanent mission of Liberia to the United Nations. By the end of the Salif's administration, he had become the youngest person in the country's history to be named Minister of State without portfolio, as well as the youngest person to serve as chairman of the board of Liberia Electricity Corporation. Our guest is a politician and currently leads Liberian National Union and contested in the recently held 2023 presidential elections. Dr. Clarence K. Moniba is our prime guest on the Punch Breakfast Show. It pleases us this morning to welcome you on the conversation. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm glad that three of you. Anyway, but it's so very good to be here. I love when I go places. I always talk about the fact that our generation, the generation under the age of 45, we would be the ones responsible to transform and change this country. So I'm always happy when I come out and I see a lot of young people doing great things. So congratulations to everybody here. And yeah, we're looking forward to the conversation. More importantly, like I always say, we're looking forward to Liberia being better tomorrow than what we have today.
Okay, health-wise, how you doing this morning?
Tango, the OA is coming small, but we're good. You can only say thank you.
Yeah, you just celebrated your birthday.
Yeah, so I'm turning 45 now, so the next year I won't be able to say 45.
So let's go across the table. Paco, you want to welcome him as well?
Yes, so it's good to be here. Like we said, it pleases us having Dr. Moniba on the show this morning, the Punch Breakfast Show. So we'd like to say good morning and welcome. I believe that we will see here today will be in Liberia's best interest because we've all have had this mindset of making Liberia better. So it's great to be here and having him talking more about Liberia and the rest of it.
Okay, so kickstart this morning. I was reading through your profile, and to discover that you were a victim of several 419 fake lottery schemes that claimed that you were willing to trade millions of dollars in diamonds and African gold. I mean, I took interest in this conversation, understanding how did you got involved with this and how were you able to deal with it?
That goes all the way back to 2004. That's when the internet was really getting big. And my father, Dr. Harry Moniba, had died. And so, right when he passed away, 2003, 2004, they had all these scams I won't say Nigerian scams before the Nigerian people get vexed with me. But they had all these scams that were going on the internet. And so the day he died, within 1 or 2 weeks, there were, I think, over 15, 20 different people from Nigeria, from India, all saying that they were children of Dr. Harry Muniba and they needed money to go to the funeral. And then next thing you know, I saw my name. I said I had over $10 million of diamonds. So, but again, it was over 20 years ago. So we just reported it, to the authorities at that time, just to make sure that we clear our name. Because one thing I've always been very clear of, and my pa always used to tell me, he used to say, I don't have money to give you, but I'll leave you a name and legacy that you'll be proud of. And so that is something, even when I worked in government, all the different positions, you would never, ever hear my name on corruption, simply because I know for a fact, God forbid, anything stupid I do, they will not say Dr. Clarence Muniba. They will say the son of Dr. Harry Muniba. And so that, I hold very dearly to me. If I do anything in life, I cannot spoil that man's name, because he used to tell me. And so that's why it's so important, even as people who are in public, or public figures, or people who are working for government, you have to understand that you are living for a legacy. You are going to leave a legacy with your children. And so that's why, even right now when we see, this person power this person power that, what legacy are you upholding? And so that's why, when that thing came out again in 2004, we took it very serious, because one thing we cannot do is pour the name, the Muniba legacy.
Okay, so we move on, gentlemen. I will kickstart this conversation and then we move on. The elections are over and you were fortunate to contest the presidency. It is safe to say that you were now the better option for the over 2 million voters. What is your takeaway from the just ended electoral process?
I still think Liberians need to start to understand that only us can fix this country. And so, when you go out there, we have to start to change our mindset. A lot of time, Liberians vote on sympathy, on tribal lines, the man being here before, we know the man. We need to start to understand the policies. And, I don't say it when I brag, but I don't think anybody had as clear a vision as we put forward for the Liberian National Union in our candidacy. But you know what? You know what I would say? I used to go around, some days when we didn't have money, I would go door to door shaking people's hand. And so this young guy came to me. He shook my hand. He was so excited. He said, Dr. Muniba, you're my hero. He took a picture. His hand was actually shaking. So, I felt good, right? I said, so I then made a joke to him. I said, but then thank God, your vote guarantee. He said, no, I'm voting for you 2020 now. He said, your first time running, or another time, family people, I ran into her. She said, Dr. Muniba, 2029, we'll make it. Don't feel bad. I said, so I just said, so that why you didn't vote for me? She said, yeah, but ain't that keen to show your face? Now your first time running. So, I say all that to say, Liberians, we now need to start to peel back the layers. We need to start to understand why we are voting for somebody. We cannot vote for somebody because they crap behind them. We cannot vote for somebody, because the person been running for a long time, let's just give it to him. That is the mentality that has our country how we have right now. We have to start to raise our standards. But in order to raise our standards, we have to also ensure that the leaders we are putting there are also going to raise their standards too. I always say Liberia should be one of the greatest countries in Africa. There's nothing in this world Liberia does not have. We have the perfect soil. We have the hardworking people. We have good weather. Why are we struggling? Let's look at the agriculture sector, which I'm sure we'll get into.
We will get into
that. So I was just concerned in following to Harris's question and your own experience as it relates to the way in which Liberians think and the way they vote. Now you cannot rule that out. Over the years, the tribal politics has played well in the interest of many who are in position today. How has that impacted the country? And what do you see probably as a vision 5, 7, 8 years from now that can actually start?
Let me give you a perfect example. Liberians, unfortunately or fortunately, depending how you look at it, but we are more tribalistic than nationalistic. A perfect example, look at the county meet. Go to any regular county meet game, you'll see the place. You will see people so excited to see the county, waving their flags, their passion. Let Lone Star go play. One time, honestly, I had some American friends that came to visit me. So, I wanted them to experience, I forget who were playing that day, but I wanted them to experience the feeling of going to a national game. So we parked halfway through SKD. I don't live too far. So I said, oh, let's walk. Two white guys, I gave them, like Liberian t-shirts to be wearing to go to the game. See people voking us as we're going to the game. Hey, they're coming, go embarrass y'all. Hey, yo, take all that chairs. I mean, Liberians are actually making fun of other Liberians and foreigners going to see a Lone Star game.
Wow.
So what type of national pride do we have? So that goes back to your point about how we vote. We are more tribalistic. That's why most tribes, oftentimes, what tribe they're in from, what country they're in from, that's all they want to know. Once they decide that they're voting for you, they don't care if you're not Steve, they don't care if you're not Kill, they don't care what policies you're putting forward, all they know that I'm my countryman. And so because of that, if we continue, we'll have the Liberia that we have.
Our different side of your comparison you just put forth, before we dive into other issues. I want to believe when we see the content meet, for instance, you just place it. I think where the conversation has been, part of the reasons why there are less attention being given to the Lone Star is because not that Liberians are not united, but it's because it's because Lone Star can win game, and that's just been read that way. And the content, everyone wants victory, so that you go to the content, my Bombi will play a Messiah because when I go, Bombi plays better football, and I see win. When I go to Lone Star game, the day I joy, then it's something good for me. I want to believe that it is from that basis you see the less interest with the situation you just mentioned about the content to that of Lone Star play.
Harris, you got a good point. But then let me flip this. 2 days ago, I had lunch with the new Lone Star coach. We are struggling to put our players in camp. How do we expect them to have victory? How do we want them to have victory when our team, and I've been calling up, I know several of the players on the Lone Star team. We are the only African team right now that's not in camp in full time. How are we going to win? How are we going to win when we don't allow our players to be in camp? So it's impossible to put a product. And so this goes back to even politics and who we vote for. We don't put in the work, but we expect a result. The reason why Bombi can maybe win, or the reason why Lofa can win, or River G can win, because the talent level in this country, we are not cultivating it. How many good fields do we have in this country? So even you go to SKD Stadium is not a fitting. I play professional sports in America, and the SKD Sports Stadium is not even a fitting place to practice, let alone have a national team. So if we do not invest in a national team, we are not going to have a good national team and continue to make fun of them. And then also when you are playing at home, you expect the stadium to be packed. That will also give you motivation to play. But another time, I was flying, I forget where I was going. I was flying to Kenya. And on the plane was the Lone Star team with us. Another example, the people checking the players in, making fun of them. Y'all coming go lose again, eh? Y'all coming go lose again.
Wow.
I was so disappointed. The lady who was checking the ticket, hey, y'all don't go there, they can't embarrass us again, they will beat you again. What is that? So again, we have to have national pride, and this goes into everything. I always say the difference between a lot of countries, right, is in Liberia, they wear jersey. We that one too good. Oh, the man in school, he got all C's, but anyway, he did wear. We demand perfection in this country. So because of that, that's how we live. Anybody won't go there, won't open school, they're there, no current, no chairs, no desk, no good teacher, that's school.
Okay, so what can we do as a country to get our pride back as a nation? Because you keep saying we don't have that pride again, most especially when it comes to our national team, when it comes to us as a Liberian. What can we do now as a country, most especially citizens of this country, to get our pride back?
It's all about holding each other accountable.
Okay.
Common example, right? One of the major things, all of us who ran for president, we talked about asset declaration, right? And the reason I'm talking about this because your guest before, 500 people, right, have been president appointed. 75 people, right?
Yeah.
LACC made a report 2 weeks ago. What are we Liberians doing about it? Oh, the people in the hand that is All we'll say, when somebody steals, we elect them. You understand what I'm saying? So what I'm just trying to tell the Liberian people is that we have to start to expect more from ourselves. We have to start to demand more for ourselves. We can no longer go, and it's difficult because, we have a very poor country. Not because we deserve to have a poor country, but because of, the situation and circumstances we have. So I'm not trying to blast at the Liberian people. I'm just trying to tell them that we as Liberians deserve more.
Sometimes I'm taken aback when you politicians, come out and sometimes say the way you say it, most especially placing Liberians in their position to be the ones to come out to demand like Bwaka asked. Now, what do we become from? Is it from the leaders who are running the shows? Because most of the times they've created a condition like this is how we should roll.
Listen, somebody, this young guy who was campaigning for me, they paid him 1,000 liberty to go all the way to Sino. 1,000 liberty to go to Sino to go register to vote. But he hungry, right? So he would take that 1,000 liberty. It has to be twofold, right? Because if we continue to vote for the leaders we vote for, they will continue to give us low levels of expectations, right? But here, Sri Lanka got tired of their president being corrupt. 100,000 people walked to the mansion. The president, his security, everybody, they ran outside. They jumped in the boat because the mansion was back to the water. So my hope that if we as Liberians don't demand, and I don't want nobody to say I'm talking cool.
that was my next question.
I don't want nobody to say that I'm talking cool. But what I'm saying is the people of Sri Lanka got tired of corrupt politicians, and 100,000 people entered the mansion. What I'm saying in Liberia, when somebody steals plenty of money, they tell us they're stealing plenty of money. They steal $100, they give $10, we praise the person. So how do we expect to change? How do we expect to change if somebody is admittedly telling us they're stealing, or we see they're stealing? It's impossible to become a minister. And in 6 months, you have built a $500,000 house, $200,000 house. Where is that money coming from? So we ourselves have to, at some point, enough has to be enough. And that cannot come, we pray to God that we'll get leaders who demand that. But if the leaders don't do it, then the people have to do it. That's the only solution. We at some point have to say enough is enough at the country and at the culture and be able to impose change in this country.
After a highly contentious elections, as with the 2023 elections, our country remains as polarized as ever. And one will safely say that we have a house that is divided. Political dissatisfaction continues to ensue while the government seems not to care about the increasing need for reconciliation at this time. What have you observed, Dr. Motoba, on the need to have a reconciled Liberia?
We do, but the country will never be reconciled if 70-80% of the country is living in poverty, and the richest people in Liberia are foreigners and corrupt politicians. How do you expect the country to be reconciled? It's impossible. Honestly, again, let's look at, I saw a picture of all the rice importers who are all foreigners. It's not bad for foreigners to come make money in Liberia, but are you trying to tell me that no Liberian is allowed to import rice in Liberia? The demand to import rice in Liberia, I think, is $13 million. You have to have it in your bank account before you can get a license to import rice. That was a couple of years. I don't know if they've changed it now, but that was it, $13 million cash. Which Liberian has that? So of course the country is going to be fractured because the Liberians, the vast majority, 99% of the people are fighting for peanuts. So there is going to be disunity. That's why you see so much tribalism in the country, because the small thing you get, you say, oh, they take my family, I'll take care of my tribe. So the country cannot move on, because the reason why other countries are so, they live together in harmony, they live together and support one another, because the resources are plenty. In Liberia, when you lose job in this country, when you lose election in this country, It's jello you will not eat. You won't even have money to pay rent, to send your children to school. So that's why sometimes when people call me opposition, I go, what am I opposing? Am I opposing a good Liberia? I don't understand when people call me opposition. I'm not opposition. I want and demand a better Liberia. But we become opposition in Liberia because somebody looks at me to say, oh, this is the man that tried to stop me from eating. Everybody in Liberia should be able to eat. But when we sit here and allow $200 million to be imported for rice, so Indian person in India can grow rice for Liberian man in Grand Bassa County can eat, then we will have a fractured country. So we need to start to look at the true root causes. And it's the fact that we don't have an economy that works for the Liberian people. Once that happens, if you put 1 grain of rice between us, you put 2 brothers there, they will fight. And that's what's happening in this country.
Before Paco comes in or Wakai, accountability and transparency have been a very huge challenge in our governance structure. To the extent that those who serve in public office have taken a word against that. In the wisdom of President Wakai, the need to ensure that those who have had the time to serve in government must account for their service to the country. To get this done, the president formulated the asset recovery task force with a specific mandate to restitute stolen resources. Dr. Monaba, what is your honest opinion about the formulation and the operation of the asset recovery task force?
You know, at a certain point, right, it's window dressing, because the last 20 years, the last 20 years, who has gone to jail for corruption in Liberia?
No.
Nobody, right?
No.
Nobody has gone to jail in Liberia for corruption. We don't hold each other accountable. Honestly, what will stop people from stealing in this country? What will stop people from when nobody goes to jail? Oh, you're leading man. I'm the only man and I steal. Even in the culture of society, when men rape women in this country, what do we say? Let's go talk in the family way. You're going to Palaver Hut. That the devil fool him. We don't hold people accountable in this country, and therefore corruption is going to continue to happen. The only way corruption will stop in Liberia is if people start going to jail. And not only that, if you steal $200,000 from the government and you are found guilty, not only should you go to jail, but you should also restitute. They should go to your home. They should go to your businesses, sell it back, and give it to Liberian people. That's the only time you'll see Liberian men say, but anything serious now. Because even if I'm a man and I got my family at home, I would not want to see my wife, my children, my mother getting kicked out of the house. So that way ensure that people start to think twice before they steal Liberian people government money.
And that's the same reason why I to some extent, the asset recovery team were been in full swing, and that's what I asked you on the support. Do you see any prospects from the team?
And just add up to Harris, don't you think that this government are coming with the mantle of not doing business as usual? Don't you think they are coming with a brand new ideas to work things differently, like the way it's been happening before?
We don't need brand new ideas. We need implementation. There's no law in Liberia that says steal. We don't implement. So we don't need brand new ideas. Why do we need we need implementation in this country? And so what we need to be focused on, what this government should be focused on, is how we implement the laws that exist. Liberia has some of the best laws in Africa. Liberia has some of the best laws in Africa, but we don't implement anything. Right now, you get somebody $1 million to build 1 mile of road. 6 months later, half the road will be there. The other 500,000 will disappear. Then we'll say, well, anyway, at least we got this. They try. We do not implement. So if we want to start to have a better country, a more developed country, a more united country, we just need to implement the laws that exist. Let's look at land selling business in this country. What is it, 7 years? I think it's 7 years, right? You're supposed to go to jail for 7 years if you sell land. Who has gone to jail for that? How many go to master right now? You'll see 3 or 4 cornerstones there. But what do? Nothing. Implemented laws in Liberia will be a better country.
It calls for political will if we are to take into consideration implementation of the law. Let's take you back a bit. Following your declaration to contest for the presidency, I want to believe you might have understood Liberia problems. You did not win the process. Now we have a Boubacar Koum administration, and you've been making lots of different statements as it relates to the administration. Liberians are eager to know from someone who is change in the rest of it, and constructively you could have your say this morning. That's why the platform is being provided. Let's have a very serious and honest conversation on this when it comes to the Boubacar and Koum leadership for the last 100 days as a former presidential aspirant. And what do you think you would have done if you were to be elected as president?
There's several things, right? In 100 days, you can't do much. And so that's why you have to be very careful not to overpromise. And so that's why I saw a report that said only 10% of the promises has been delivered.
Namod,
right? Yeah. Said 10% of the promises have been delivered. So you already know now that starts off on the wrong footing, right? Because if you start like that, how do you continue? Well, a major problem was the formation of the government.
Okay.
You cannot allow 2-3 months to go by and you're still forming government and picking ministers. At a certain time, there's a limited amount of people, even right now, right? When you talk to me, I have a general idea. If God bless me to ever win, I have a general idea the 2 or 3 people I will consider for finance. I have a general idea the 2 or 3 people I will consider for state. So once you cannot form the government in due time, then you will fall short on the 100 days. But we have
does it in any way question President Boubacar's leadership experience, like what Liberians have said over the time?
He has 40 years of experience, right? He has 40 years.
If you were to call spade is spade.
We've been very careful this morning.
If you have to call spade is spade.
Listen, let me put it this way, right? You would have wanted the 100 days to be 10 times better than what it was. You would have wanted, because the Liberian people put President Boubacar there with so much enthusiasm, so much excitement. Half of it, though, or maybe most of it, to be frank with you, was in opposition to WIA. But President Boubacar was chosen with the hope that we can now change the country forward. So for the first 100 days, you would have wanted the entire administration to be named within the first couple of weeks, right? You by February, you want to start running as the government. You want to start moving as the country. But when you submit names, you take it back, and there's a lot of infighting, and that's the thing. People don't understand. The president is only as good as the people around him.
And you think he scored F on that one?
Stop doing that.
No, but we're having a conversation. You think he scored? You think the president scored F on that one?
We want the president to government last.
If you were to grade the president, but we're having conversation.
But this is what I tell people, right? This is what I tell people, right? Honestly, my background, I have.
But you are a politician.
I'm a politician, but also, right, my doctorate is in rhetoric and professional communication. So you are not going to, because the minute you give grade, what does it mean if I give him A? What does it mean if I give him F right now? The only thing people will understand is, Dr. Moniba getting A or Dr. Moniba getting F. So my whole thing is, right, my analysis is this. To be order to implement 100-day plan, the government must be formed a lot sooner than what it was. To be able to actually deliver your promises, you cannot be looking for people, and it also has to be brought. Listen, I always tell people there were good people in CDC government that could have worked in this government or should be working in this government.
Do you think so?
Huh?
Do you think so?
Do I what? There were Liberians. There were good Liberians in Toba administration, Dole, Taylor, Sirleaf, WIA administration. There are always good Liberians working. We just have to be able to find them. But the problem we have, again, going back to the unity of this country, is simply this. Once UP win, CDC become the enemy.
I want to ask a question. Dr. Mova, you are a good man. Are you willing to work in this government?
I'm willing to serve the people of Liberia.
If you're asked by the government or by the president to serve the people of Liberia, are you willing?
If I'm asked and it's something I feel like I can do good, right?
You're willing to serve the people, so it should not be about your feeling.
No, if I don't think I perform, if I don't feel like if you put me at Ministry of Immigration, like people would take it because they're looking for a job. But I've been blessed, man. I've worked for World Bank, I work for African Development Bank. I'm now hungry for a job, and so a lot of times people say, "Oh, you didn't endorse boycott." Listen, to be frank with you, a lot of people endorse somebody in the because I endorse you. Hopefully, I will get a job. I'm not looking for a job. I'm looking to build the legacy that my father left me. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking to be part of the generation that transformed Liberia. So if there is a position that I feel like I can do well for the Liberian people, again, and I headed Liberian the Present Delivery Unit. I served as chairman of LEC, helping to finalize Mount Coffee Hydro. I worked the Lofa Road. I helped to negotiate that, the ministerial complex, the airport, the RIA terminal. So I've been able to control even the ERWA road that they're building right now. I helped to fund the sources for that. So I've been able to support the development, infrastructure development of Liberia. And I'm also proud to say, while saying all of that, that nobody will ever hear my name in corruption. So I know where I can help this government. So if I'm asked, right, and it's a good situation where I can help the country of Liberia, of course, because the reason why you enter public service, why you enter public service is to be able to sacrifice. The mistake we make in Liberia is that when people come out and join government, they take it as a gain. It's not a sacrifice in Liberia. And the reason why is simply because when you see the fun car and you see the big house, the small 10-year-old child, whose house is that? It's that minister house, that is senator house. So that 10-year-old child grows up saying, okay, but then me too, to have a big house and big car, I want to be a senator. If it was a sacrifice, because you see the typical business person, the market woman, and a businesswoman wants to go sit down in the sun and suffer. So people join government. Most people join government to gain. And that's the fault that we have in this country. We should be able to sacrifice and to serve the people of Liberia.
Okay, so let's move on. I read a post from you concerning the establishment of the World Economic Crimes Court in Liberia. You are in support of this, and you as a permanent citizen of this country, now we are closely approaching to the establishment of this World Economic Crimes Court in the country. What's your position on this?
I'm in support of it, but more for economic crimes court. Frank with you, you're trying to tell me we don't know who killed Doe? We know.
Yeah.
So we don't need a court to tell us. Our focus should war, but it should be more focused on economic crimes code, because economic crimes is what's really killing the people of Liberia. Oh, war crimes code. Oh, they're coming to go get Prince Jonathan. Now Prince Jonathan, we saw him on video. We saw him on video killing Doe. We don't need court to tell us that. The TRC report was very clear, right? And we basing the World Economic Crimes Court
on the recommendation
of the TRC. Are we truly going back to the implementation argument I was making? Are we truly going to have a true World Economic Court? If that's the case, then we need to even repeal some laws that are existing right now. Let's look at the law that doesn't allow foreigners to practice anything in Liberia. Who are going to be the judges? Who are going to be the investigators? Who are going to be some of the defense lawyers? Because if we also look at the TRC report, there are foreign companies in this country that are held liable. So you think they're going to go take Liberian lawyer to defend them? No, they will insist that an American lawyer or some foreign lawyer come and defend them. Are we going to repeal that law so foreigners can come here? Let's look at 2003. 2003. Let's be very clear. And that was immunity given. And immunity was given. So are we also going to repeal that? You see what I'm saying? So when you say, oh, war crimes court, everybody, all the senators do the, sign it. Let's be real with ourselves. And this is why sometimes when we're talking about transformation in Liberia, sometimes we just like to fool ourselves. Somebody told me a joke, what I think is so true. They said, who wants change in Liberia? Everybody put their hand up. Then the next question was, who wants to change? Everybody put their hand down. Do we really want to change in Liberia? If we really want this World Economic Crimes Court, yes, we have to look at the fact of foreigners, practicing law in Liberia. We have to go to 2003 and be able to take out immunity from the people that was given. We also have to be able to go to the 1986 Constitution if we are going to go with the TRC and be able to say that we are starting from 1979. Then there's a constitutional amendment that's needed, because in 1986, they were also given amnesty from the coup on. So these are questions and these are discussions we need to be having. So this executive order that was signed, this executive order that was signed, right? 3 years from now, where are we going to be? Because there was an executive order. People, they passed the law, they passed the law. They did not pass the law.
It is an executive order to establish the office of the court that will decide.
And so 3 years from now, let's see 3 years from now where we'll be.
I'm sorry, Harris, before you come in, but from your explanation, I think from what I'm observing from you, I don't think the establishment of this code is anytime soon. From what I'm observing from your explanation,
that's what I think. And knowing Liberian people, that's what it looks like. So now it's up to them because, fine, we established the executive order. Who's going to head it? Have we had that discussion? You know, where is it going to be? Who's going to fund it? Because again, I keep saying because 3 years from now we'll be, we're putting down the executive team, and then what? So then we are in the same situation we have. And then we took the whole 100 days, going back to your 100-day thing, we took the whole 100 days. The reason why it was 10%, because the whole country and all the ministers, everybody going in the legislature were focused on passing an executive order. Where does that get us in establishing true economic crimes in this country that's happening today? Why are the 425 people haven't reported the assets yet? You don't think economic crimes happening today? So we have to start to be serious what type of country we want. We have to start to demand more. We have to start as Liberian, your voices are powerful. So we have to start to demand more.
I come in, Paco,
from our leaders. Demand more from our leaders.
I come in before we get this thing, and I know this is one thing I have wished to ask.
But I just want to tell. Sorry, I just want to tell the Liberian people right now. I got 3 people that looking at me. All attention.
So one thing I have wished to ask all of those that had the time to be up of the just in the elections, especially for the presidency. And thankfully, we have you this morning. The code of conduct is designed to protect individuals who hold any positions and promote in government. President Walker has taken steps to remove those officials that the code of conduct protects, and on accounts of being in violation of the code of conduct and also their involvement in recently held elections and administrative reasons. How do you describe President Walker's action to suspend the 10 officials, and what you have done differently as president of this country?
This happened with when President Weah took over. I don't think he went after anybody who had tenure. I don't remember it being an issue, right? Please correct me if I'm wrong. No, I'm asking. I'm really asking.
Go on.
Did he?
By your thoughts. Go on.
I'm asking the question. I'm saying, did it happen when President Weah came? I don't remember it, but I'm hoping that somebody clarifies. Listen, when you talk about tenure exists so that they can implement and work their job freely without the interference of the presidency. But then we also see in Liberia that people work with the will and pleasure of the president. Right? That's what we can say. But for me, if the tenure law say you leave the people, let them serve their term, unless there is financial malpractice going on, then immediately and effectively that person should be suspended pending an investigation. So that's where I base my tenure thing on. The tenure was put there for a reason.
It does not address my question. I mean to be emphatic, because I'm asking as to how you describe the president, because I know you follow all of these things. You have been around, the conversation surrounding tenure position, so you have an insight.
I wouldn't touch tenure people unless it was financial.
But I think you followed the president's decision that there are reports on his desk.
Initially, he took them off. Had to instruct him that the procedure, the manner in form in which those officials who have been removed was wrong. It was when the president had to consider again and come out with a suspension, because according to him then that those officials were involved into financial malpractice. So to some extent, you will want to say there are missteps along the way, and that's what I asked as to how different you have been as president.
I don't know how. Listen, if somebody has tenure, leave them there. If there are any accusations of financial mispractices or malpractices, or any type of illegal activity, then of course you trigger it. Because again, let's be very clear, tenure was placed for a reason. Tenure was placed at certain critical positions that has to be outside of the president's purview, right? So that they are not influenced by the presidential purview. But if there is corruption or accusations going on, there should be an investigation. So, there's no other way to put it. Tenure, unless there's...
Okay, so your recent comment places you in the position which tells that you might have gone through President Bouakar's arrest agenda. You were clear in your recent comment when you said the recently signed or passed the budget by the legislature does not in any way reflect the will and pleasure of the people, in the sense where if you're talking about agriculture and what is allocated or allotted for agriculture, it means that you are now ready to get the ball rolling.
When you look at the budget, right? There's no budget, there's no country, there's no business that would take Liberia serious if we spend more money on cars for ministers than we do on ambulances for the sick. And I hope the Liberian people understand what I'm saying. The fact that we have hundreds and thousands of cars for government officials, but we have less than 100 ambulances in Liberia, lets you know there's a fundamental problem. There's no other way to put it. The fact that when you look at the budget, right, that was proposed, $5 million, $6 million that goes to the agricultural sector. And I think your guest said that, there's $40 million in grants and no, that's why we continue to be, we are so behind other countries in the developing world because of that mindset and mentality. Liberia, we should be putting our own money towards agriculture. Why are we going out just begging? If other countries see us taking the lead, how can we put $5-6 million in the budget for agriculture and give $40 million to 103 representatives and lawmakers? Why do you think we got 30 people running for representative? Not to serve, but to gain. Because when they look at the budget, they know that each representative every year will make hundreds of thousands of dollars. Listen, a representative makes in Liberia, I think the least they make is $8,000 a month, right? Let's go to Ghana. Their budget is 3-4 times more than us. What do their lawmakers make? 3,000, 4,000. They make half of what our people make. So that's why when people get frustrated with the state of Liberia, it's simply because of these reasons. You spend more money on government minister cars than ambulances. Look at the hospitals. Look at our schools. How many schools, and in the statement I released, how many schools in Liberia really has indoor toilet, have electricity? How many typical Liberian children in River G, in River Cess, in Grand G, who can turn on computer, who even know how computer look like? So how are they now going to be able to compete with their fellow peers in Sierra Leone, Guinea, Ghana, Nigeria? Don't even go to Europe, just in the sub-region. How can we compete? So now when you take the budget, it's $100 million, but most of it is in recurring costs, such as salaries. It's not about... In the first 100 days, right? What you have to be able to do is put down policies that are very clear. That's what you can do in the first 100 days. Going back to your point, I think, Bouakar, you asked a question about 100 days. In the 100 days, right? If I'm president of Liberia, the first 100 days, people are going to be very clear where we are headed. And I would sit there and say, nobody in Liberia is going to graduate any longer from high school without 2 years of technical and vocational training. That's a 100-day mandate that you can say. You can pass an executive order on that to say nobody else is graduating from high school at 2 years of carpentry, plumbing, masonry, something, so that when young people in the Liberia graduate, they have a skill. You can sit there and say, listen, we're talking about tourism. We need to open our country. Why do we have this? You know how difficult it is to come to Liberia? Even in America, people living all the way around America, it's so hard for them to even get visas to come to Liberia. Europe, difficult. We should be talking about a country where we have visa free. Let people come to Liberia to invest in this country. So those needs to be 100-day deliverables. But when you go back to the budget again, right? I talked about agriculture. I just talked about education. The fact that we have schools that have absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. But yet, unfortunately for the Liberian people, we are forced to send our children there to go to school there, because what other choice do they have? So these are questions when we start talking about the budget. Is it truly fundamental change? And so my argument has been no.
Okay.
It's business as usual. It's the same thing. What's so much difference in this budget than last year's budget?
Honestly, I want to argue with you that this is a foundational problem. That Joseph Walker's administration won't take just perhaps in the first year to settle these things. Perhaps the president will have to critically look at every sector, like you saw with the health. There were improvements made, especially the budget of the health ministry. Additional 10 million was allotted from the previous budget year. So one will have place the conversation that this is a gradual process that the president, sector by sector, will have to deal with this thing. Then the way you place it in a holistic approach to have this done, one hands and all.
Listen, it's a gradual process, but in the process of it being gradual, people are dying. Right now, God forbid somebody gets sick, a loved one gets sick. What's the first thing you're looking for? You're looking for a car paid to take them to JFK, or you're looking for a plane ticket for them to go to Ghana?
Plane ticket.
Plane ticket. Mm-hmm. Ask the typical Liberian in this country, you want to go JFK, Tabita, or Ghana, or India? But how many Liberians in this country can afford plane ticket? So that's why this gradual approach of adding $10 million there, that very soon we'll hear budget shortfall in this. So that lets you know that we have to have fundamental change in how we go about doing things. The reason why we are all advocating for a better Liberia is because we know that the Liberia we are living in today is not good enough for any Liberian. Let's be very honest with ourselves. You know, so it's not about talking about Liberia, it's about being very true. You know, and I raised this point. I was on the radio a few days ago. I think it was the EU ambassador when they talked about Liberia, one of the dirtiest cities. What did we Liberians do? What did we do? For us to say, damn it, what can we do so nobody ever says that again? Oh, the mayor has to go. How he will cost our country? Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? So we Liberians, we don't look for solutions. We look to blame other people for our problems.
I really want to be practical. You making some good points this morning, but we want you to be practical. The question about the budget, it doesn't in any way align with the Unity Party arrest agenda, and we're moving you the issue that has to do with agriculture.
Budget is not transformational. Mm-hmm. You said it doesn't align.
Yeah, but if it is not
transformational,
okay.
So that's the difference.
Okay,
it's not transformational. And it's what's so much different than this budget than last budget.
Okay.
The campaign for change, right? Mm-hmm. So therefore, this budget cannot in any way reflect. My argument is this, right? You said let's be practical, right? The budget of Liberia is extremely small, right? 700 million. What is it? What did it come up to? That's honestly, that's the budget of of medium-sized companies in America have bigger budgets than that.
Okay.
So if that's the case, right? If that's the case, then government should not be eating the lion's share of that budget. That's my point. Okay. If you're talking about, we want to change. So again, going back to your point about being practical, if we are talking about, we should be talking about, listen, to get JFK to the point we need where we can have surgery, where we can have true training, we estimated $60 to $65 million to rehabilitate JFK, to be able to make it the hospital, so it becomes a regional hospital where people from Guinea, from Ivory Coast and Ghana can come here. That's the budget we should be talking about. Where's that $65 million should be going there? So again, you would have to sit down and really study the thing. But if we are serious about healthcare, let's have one hospital in Liberia that the people of Liberia can say, God forbid anything happen to me, I can go there and the services will be there. The doctors will be there. There will be electricity there. There will be surgical, equipment there. Let's have one. Then let's take it to Tapita. Then let's have two. If we're talking about school, education, it's not about, the education, we put money in education. No, we should be talking about how can we build the best technical and vocational school, at least one, in West Africa, here in Liberia. That's what I'm talking about, fundamental and transformational change.
There are two sides I look at the conversation, Parker. One of which is, at one point in time, will be limited fundings towards those things you just spoke of. On the other hand, at times, despite the limited funding, if we have visionary leaders, can transform those little fundings into things that could be big. So when you sit and look at the governance structure of our country currently, it's said that the issue about funding is a problem, or those who have been charged with the responsibility to head these various institutions lack the knowledge, the vision to have these things.
It's both.
done.
It's both. Because when you have limited resources, now immediately you have to think outside the box, right? You need progressive leaders. And so that's why let's take politics out of the thing. That's why I keep looking at, that's why I mentioned the age group that's here. If our generation doesn't change this country, nobody will. We need leaders who sit down and look outside the box. Honestly, I always used to make fun. I say, if God bless me, I ever become president, my first, and I still remember most of my 100-day thing, but my 100-day thing was to be able to source $150 million of external money for JFK and Tapida hospitals to invest in those two hospitals. That was a 100-day deliverable of mine. So you need people who have the ability and the background to be able to go around the world and make and bring money to this country. We have to be aggressive if we want to transform Liberia. We are way behind. I hope people understand other countries are not like this. When you go around Liberia, there's nowhere you will look that you don't see poverty. There's nowhere. Why is that? So in order to change this country, we cannot do business as usual. We can't say, gradually we'll get there. Gradually, people are dying every day. We don't have time for gradual right now. We need time for transformational leadership. And that's what the people of Liberia has to be demanding. So that's why when you look at the budget, they added more money to education. What does that mean? Small money to education. That means the DO gets more gas money to go around to look at what? The health officer will go to a clinic to do what? There's no electricity at the clinic. How many people today, no exaggeration, will die walking from our hometown of Gema to go to a Cone hospital because they're sick? How many people will die? So again, it's one thing to say, the budget, let's work on the budget gradually. Yeah, but that's the wrong approach. That's the wrong approach. It has to be fundamental change if we want a better country. And so that's why not only me, but every single Liberian, we have to start demanding more, not only from the government, though, but from our own individual selves. We always say, if you're a carpenter, be the best carpenter. If you are a sweeper, a janitor, be the best sweeper. Let's raise our standards as Liberians. And then when you look at the politics now, when you look at politicians, you demand more. Why is it? Let's honestly just look at, and I have plenty of friends who are senators. I have plenty of friends who are lawmakers and representatives. So I go visit them. And when I go there, when you enter in the office, you see 20 people sitting on there. What are they doing there? To go back. Why? Because, they can say, we only making 8,000, but that money not even enough to take care of everybody. Imagine if you made 3,000 like the Ghanaian counterpart and then put $5,000 into a better schools or hospitals or something. Then the people won't be forced to come and beg you. They will be, they won't be in the corridors of Capitol building begging you. They will be at the schools and farms and factories. So that's the mindset we have to do. That's how we
before we transition to the phone lines, Dr. Moniba, are you waiting to sit with the president to share this conversation?
The president is my uncle. Anytime the president calls me, I am willing and available. And the president and I would say we work together, but of course he was the vice president. But listen, I think the country knows what I have done, and if the country doesn't know, the people in government circles know what I've done. Because part of the reasons why I asked that question is that at times every leader we want to look at after the electoral process, you look into the candidates, those that contested along with you. You want to look through and see some of the bright minds. You want to see some of those that share similar vision with you. You want to bring them on board. You want to have a conversation with them and say, I think you have certain capacity to help me in this position. Come join me, let's do this. And that's what I'm asking as to, I don't know if said conversation were brought forth to you by the president at any point in time, because I saw he brought few of your colleagues, let's say Robert Sloyanti that contested, Sheikh Al Mustafa Kuyate, and you just go Edward Appleton. And so I was thinking,
you guys from Lofa, both of you from Lofa.
Dr. Monaba, who have been called by the president as well, gave you your record that you worked with him previously at the time during the Salif's administration.
Everybody can work in government. So listen, if the president calls me,
but you wanted to be in government,
yeah, but I didn't win. So everybody can work in government. So just because I didn't win, that means I'm forced to work it. Listen, he gave those positions to, I think, people who endorsed him. Like I said, I was very clear, that I wasn't going to endorse anybody.
Okay.
I was going to work and support anybody who became president. And so that's what I did. So maybe it's people who endorsed him, maybe it's not. But listen, President Boyka is my uncle. Anytime he needs me to help give ideas or to do anything for the people of Liberia to make Liberia better, I'm available 100%.
I like the way you place it when you were providing some level of recommendation. Now the government is here. We have to go 6 years and of operations. What do you think government needs most when it comes to policy, or maybe instituting something that could better the lives of the people, one that has to do with the bread and butter issue? And my next concern would be, there was this policy instituted by the CDC regime that played out loudly in the election that has to do with the homogenization. Now civil servants felt that their salaries were being homogenized by the people government, and it was on that basis. Most of them said, because of that,
you
harmonize your vote. Now we have the unity party government. Was it a good policy back then under the WIA's administration, and having a unity party government? What do you think about that policy?
The challenge we have, right? First of all, obviously, to take salary from people, civil servants or people who are working is just fundamentally flawed, and probably one of the major reasons why it's former President WIA and not current President WIA. You harmonize, you cannot do that, right? But the problem we have in this country is also the mistake that we don't want this administration to do, which they are slowly going to, making government job the prime job creator in this country.
Okay.
And that's the mistake we make. The reason why CDC had to harmonize is because they couldn't create private sector jobs. So what do you do when you have all the people who've been supporting you for 12 years? Instead of one driver, you say you'll bring 5 drivers. And then you take the one driver salary, you say you're dividing in 5. And you're working, you're leaving. So that's what happened. Even if you look at Ministry of State, when we were there was about 300 people working there. By the time we got to 2022, there were over 1,100 people allegedly on the payroll of Ministry of State. What are they doing? What are they? And so these are questions we continue to have, even when you look at the government budget this year. I saw a report that said 90% of it is recurring, right? Going towards travel and salaries and stuff. So even in the goods and services. So even in the education budget that was, that small money was put in, most of it again will go to salaries. So the idea is we have to be able to create a private sector. But let me mention this: the typical Liberian, can the typical Liberian go to any bank in Liberia and get money? Absolutely not. Honestly. Just take the typical Liberian and go to LBDI or any private bank in this country and say, I want loan. By the time they finish telling you your interest rates and the collateral you have to go, you will run out of there. They'll let the place on fire. So therefore, the typical Liberian cannot even have access to money. So if they don't have access to money, what's the next choice? They go and look for government job. Let me go sit on there. They don't need to be working. They don't need to be saying that in government thing. So we have to start to focus more on the private sector. But in order to focus on the private sector, we need better banking systems in this country. Hence, the private sector. We need liquidity, meaning real cash in Liberia, in the bank, to be able to give loans to the people of Liberia. Right now, it's not fair. The richest people in Liberia, I said it before, mostly foreigners or corrupt politicians. Why? How can we build a country if that's the truth? If the truth is that only the foreigners are getting real money, only corrupt politicians making 10% off the deals are making money, how do we build as a country? How do we build?
Okay, so folks, you're listening to the voice of Dr. Clarence K. Monumba. He's here with us this morning on the Punch Breakfast Show. We are discussing a wide range of issues. It's now time for you to place in your calls on 0778 665 699. Once again, 0778 665 699 or 080-561-644, 080-561-644. Call in and be a part of the conversation this morning. We can take roughly about 5 calls this morning. Then we move on 0778 665 699, 0778 665 699 or 080-561 644. are the lines that you can call and be live on the show this morning. Let's take our first caller here this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Your name is joining us from?
My name is Swaz. I'm calling from Tuaza.
Okay, welcome.
Yes.
Go ahead and make a contribution. Oh, sorry about that. We're still taking your calls. Keep them coming in. Let's take another person from this line here. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, your name is joining us from?
Yeah, this is calling from Chigiri's family, the chairman for Dr. Mogba.
Okay.
Dr. Mogba, good morning, sir.
morning.
Yeah, my brother, we have a meeting. You tell us that we are going to have another meeting. We want to bring up school. But up to now, we're here to wait for you, and we have not heard from you.
My man, so that you come in,
make an opportunity, but ask a question.
But you cannot call me, so to discuss.
Okay, call it, man. Y'all discuss that one there, yeah? Let's take another person from this line here quickly. Good morning.
Good morning, Harris, and good morning to Dr. Muniba.
Welcome. Your name is joining us from?
My name is D. Cover Johnson. I'll call you from VOA RI Highway.
Okay, go ahead.
I want to say thanks to Dr. Muniba. I'm just calling on the president to get people, technical people like Dr. Muniba and VOA to implement his policy agenda. Look at the restaurant now in the country. It becoming a whole wild situation again. All on the radio, any radio station you go, it's just about the rest. So you need to get people like Dr. Muniba and Ryan to showing the way maybe even like in falling short, all of them can work together so that they can move the country forward.
Thank you so much. Let's take another person from this line. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing pretty well. Your name is joining us from?
Hey, this is Alexander Ross. I phone you from the Kingsburg Bell.
Welcome. Go ahead. You're live.
Thank you. I called to commend your studio guest for this discussion. And I want to say to him with these rich ideas he has, I will appreciate from him if we reduce them into probably a booklet or a pamphlet that prepares him for our next pending presidential election. Because with these ideas he has, and I really love the places he touched in our country. And these are places, and these are ideas that we need to pull on and build onto, because we keep hearing people coming and again kind of flattered and decorated talks. Now, at the end of the day, when they are placed in position, and then everything they say goes down to the dream, never again.
Okay.
So yes, to bring it on to the people.
No, your line isn't good again. I don't know, but we can take two more calls. 077-8685-699. Let's take this person here quickly. Good morning. Your name is joining us from?
Yeah, good morning. My name is Stefan. I'm calling from Tuaza.
Welcome, Ibi.
Yeah. Hi to the guest. Yeah, I don't want to say hi to our president, George. We are.
Oh. Now,
This is the beauty of radio.
let's take this person here. Good morning. Welcome. Your name is joining us from? Good morning. Okay, we missed up on our call. Let's take this person. Good morning. Yeah, your name is joining us from?
Yeah, thank you. And good morning to Hey, Lawrence.
Okay, Lawrence, welcome.
Yeah, thank you. So I'm referring that I'm but I basically I have a question.
Lawrence, your line is not too good.
Is coming. Wow, I'm not.
Yeah, okay, go ahead and ask your question quickly.
Yeah, so what is your plan going forward into 2029? Actively involved so because of the elections, you guys now around started to see 1 year to election and all of that. That's the time stuff here and there.
Okay,
right now
thank
the
you.
country things are difficult, so I want to know your step during the 2029.
Okay, your step going towards 2029. If you'll be active or you will up until the election time reach again before coming. That's the question. Let's take this person Good morning. Welcome. Your name is joining us from?
Good morning, Harris Billy, and good morning to Puaka, and good morning to Dr. Clarence Moniba.
Welcome.
Thank you. This is the voice of Sonia Sakara Johnson, and I speak to you for Pinsia. Let me appreciate you for the last segment of this program today. I think you have been fascinating. Look, Dr. Moniba just struck series of fundamental issues. And one thing better is that I think Liberia government, inter-memorial, and even the current government have not been able to craft a transformational agenda for the progressiveness and the survivability of our people over the past. And that is the reason why you see at the end of the day, people say, oh, the Lord, look, there is a theory in political science that tells you that when the masses are hungry, they don't identify theory. So at the end of the day, we must be able to work together as a team to ensure that yes, indeed, we have a transformational where the livelihood of our people will be improved. Now you talk about the legislature. The legislature is telling us that every time the people go to bed. Why would the people not bear when you are not enacting laws that will be able to create a fundamental situation that will improve the living conditions of our people? But your only so interest is to allot $30.5 million into the national budget that will go right back to you in the name of a legislative development for which is against the Constitution and their responsibility. So we think that these guys are not in the, and we can say to the Liberian people that this is the time that the young people that constitute 75% of the vast population be able to understand.
Thank you. Samuel, on Friday, yeah, Friday. 8 to 9 o'clock, yeah.
I'll reach you.
Yeah, that Friday will be good. So we take our last call there because we are really out of time now.
We're going 11 minutes.
We're going extra 11 minutes into the time. So we take one more last call, then we go on the show this morning. 0778 665 699. Keep your calls coming in. I don't know. Okay, let's take this person here quickly. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Your name is George from?
I said Bishop Bank calling from R2.
Welcome.
Yeah, let me appreciate our studio guest for the brilliant idea. What I want for the governor of Liberia to do is that to focus on the agriculture minister. If you are a minister, but not to be in big car running around Monrovia town here. You're supposed to be in Ring Bush with shovel in your hand in the swamp. And those law brokers that are in jail are those people that are supposed to be working on the government so as to produce for the Liberian people because they don't want to be law-abiding citizens.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let's take our last call from the WhatsApp number this morning. Let's take this person. Good morning. Welcome. Your name is joining us from?
Emmanuel Duro calling from South Africa.
Welcome, Emmanuel. You are live on the show.
Yeah, actually, I appreciate Mr. Moriba, some of the clearance. Okay. Mr. Moriba, anyway.
You get no feedback. Your microphone.
What I wanted to ask is, in what way the president of Liberia, Mr. Joseph Boakai, can address the issues of rights in that country that will bring a stable systems of importation of right in that country, Mr. Moriba? If you were president, I don't know what would be your idea.
All right. Thank you so much. So, Dr. Moriba, you listen to all of the callers. You want to address some of their concerns?
They want to enjoy that lady calling. Anyway, the first thing, again, thank you for everybody who's calling, and listening to the show. The only way we can move Liberia forward is if all of us are working together and having these discussions and disagreements to be able to come to a common goal, which is a better Liberia. If I'm not mistaken, he talked about what I'll be doing till 2029.
Yeah.
I like to be very clear with people. I lived in America from 1991 to 2011. I came to Liberia in 2011. I don't have any house in America. I don't have any, so my home is here in Liberia. So we'll be here. We have a foundation, the Moniba Foundation. We are going to be extremely active over the next 2 years. We just launched something called County Pride Initiative, where, we are building monuments and stuff in different counties, respecting the values of each county. So we are going to be in country. We're also in real estate and trying to do private business. So, we are living and we are working to see a better Liberia. Somebody talked about the idea of what we would do in agriculture. When we're running for president again, I'm proud to say that I think we had one of the clearest visions during the 2023 elections. But of course, in Liberia, they say you're just coming. But I think in order to be self-sufficient in food, in our staple food of rice and in other things, I always argue that we have 15 counties in Liberia. Every single county should be a mechanized food production zone. So the example I always give, Lofa, Bon, Bapolu, we go there and say, yo, we'll grow all of the rice that Liberian people will eat. We go to Nimba, we go to Grange there, yo, we'll grow cassava, yo, we'll grow plantains. We go to the southeast, pepper, bitter ball. It's an embarrassment and shame that we have to go to Guinea to buy pepper. It's an embarrassment and shame. Again, like today, like they're talking about rice prices going up. Those rice prices are going to go up because the businessmen would never lose. So, but we have a country where not only can we grow our own rice, we should be exporting. But we are here. I'm 45 years old now. In 1979, 45 years ago, almost to date, people died in this country because there was no rice in the country. 45 years later, we are still facing the same thing. And don't die on the streets in protest. People will still die from hunger. So where are we going as a nation? So again, the policies that need to be put in place, every single county should be responsible to grow something for the people of Liberia to eat. Each county will get assignment. We'll get each county assignment. River G, what are you growing for the Liberian people? And then we make sure in the budget that is more than $5 and $6 million, we make sure that River G meets their quota because they got mechanized farming. We are in 2024. And at 2024, we're in 2024, and people in Liberia are farming like it's 1924, 100 years ago, going to the farm with a hook in the hand. What is that? So, to change the face of this country, we need progressive thinking. We need progressive leaders, people who understand that every other country has done it. Look at Israel. Israel is almost a desert, and they're producing more food than us in Liberia. How is that possible? That's the leadership we need in this country. So mandate of Liberian people.
Thanks.
So again, thank you everybody, who called. Did I miss anything?
No. You touched on everything.
You touched on the colors concern. So Barker, we say thanks so kindly to all of you that form in. Indeed, your participation as well was good. Paco, we're going to begin with you closer with you before I get on and Barker will end up.
Yes, it has been a wonderful conversation. Like we said from the onset, we all look up to making Liberia better through our different conversations, and having Dr. Moniba on the show this morning a clear pace as a way to go as a country. But it has been a great time being on the Punch Breakfast, and thanks for the opportunity. You and Boaka, I'm honored.
Okay, he's a Brian Parker and a professional colleague as well. Boaka, we got to take our break tomorrow morning. We're going to be here again, and we are expecting to have the presidential press secretary tomorrow on a conversation. But how be it? An honor to have Dr. Moniba on the Punch Breakfast Show. Hope tomorrow will be another fiery edition. Bye-bye from my end.
Okay, so folks, that's it. Join us tomorrow morning. Up until then, it's bye-bye from the Punch Breakfast crew here at Punch FM.